And a good Wednesday afternoon to Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott here. Brand new tornado watch just now posted for our northern and central portions of Alabama. This is generally north of Interstate 59 now, north of Tuscaloosa and north of Birmingham and Anniston in those yellow counties. That is a tornado watch until 10 o'clock tonight. We're coming up on 4 o'clock. I just want to hop on here for a moment. And since you are most likely getting those alerts now of a tornado watch being issued in your part of the world, I did want to give you an update of what's happening. So far, again, Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, the Interstate 59 corridor, and points down to the south are not under tornado watch. We do expect that to change later tonight as that threat shifts southeast with time. So again, here's a live look. I want to show you a few cameras here from Fayette. This is our Pfeiffer cam, and it is incredibly warm. So 79 in Fayette. They topped out today at 81 in Fayette County. This is looking northwest towards the co-op, and again, see the flag flapping in the wind there, showing that a low-level wind inflow, the warm, moist air coming off the Gulf of Mexico now. And this is setting the stage for an event that we're going to be monitoring overnight tonight. So we have that potential for damaging winds, hail, tornadoes, and also some potential for flooding out of this activity as well. So from Brian Denny in Tuscaloosa, 81 now. By the way, for this date, the record high temperature in Tuscaloosa is 75. We shattered that today. Most Alabama communities shattering record highs today. It is incredibly warm, and oftentimes we deal with an atmosphere like this and an approaching storm system. That is when we deal with some trouble. So here's what we got. The Storm Prediction Center has an enhanced risk of severe weather now for the northern quarter of the state, just north of Tuscaloosa. The yellow shaded area, that is that level 2. That's that slight risk of severe weather. Then you got a marginal risk down here below Demopolis and Selma. But keep in mind, everybody is in a risk of severe weather for today and tonight. Also, the potential for a few tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, flooding also concerns some of these slow-moving thunderstorms. And with a straight-line wind risk, I think we could see some wind gusts over 60 miles an hour, some of these severe thunderstorms that do roll on through later on this evening and tonight. Here's our general timeline. So now through about 10 o'clock for northwest Alabama, we're talking about Haydenville and Hamilton, maybe as far south as Fayette and Vernon. So 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. I know that is an incredibly long window of opportunity for severe weather, but for our central Alabama counties, that's what we're dealing with because it's going to be a slow-moving storm system. It's going to take its time moving through, so it looks like we'll be here all night watching this. I don't think we're going to have tornadoes all night through from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. nonstop, but at any time in that window, we could have issues where you are. So here's a look at radar. I just want to show you this. Across central Alabama, not a single shower or thunderstorm occurring now. So west Alabama, central Alabama, east Alabama currently dry. We do have active weather off to the west of us. Take over the radar to Columbus and just check things out there and see what we've got. And again, there's your showers and thunderstorms back in Mississippi. Some of these have become severe over time. There have been a couple of tornado warnings back in Arkansas. In fact, we are watching these storms. They begin to kind of grow and blossom back in North Mississippi, and eventually those will move into Alabama. So here's the deal. Again, tornado watch continues until 10 p.m. tonight. That's going to be extended most likely down to the southeast, not only the area, also the timeline. I think it's going to last a lot later than 10 o'clock tonight. But again, this is incredible. Temperature 81 Tuscaloosa, 82 in Linden. Now the atmosphere is primed for stronger thunderstorms and that severe weather potential. Also, dew points are still fairly high, dew points in the 60s. And if you walk outdoors, you feel that tropical air. This is where this is coming from. This is basically Caribbean air. We got a high pressure northeast of the Bahamas now, and again, that air is flowing right around that through the Gulf of Mexico and into central Alabama, east Mississippi, and that is fueling these thunderstorms. You got to have that fuel source. Now, this is our satellite and radar, and here's what we got back in Mississippi. Notice these individual thunderstorms that are trying to get organized there. I think this is going to be that beginning stage where we see a few supercells develop out here in Mississippi, and again, those will move across portions of Alabama this evening and tonight as well. Here's our high-resolution model data, and just kind of show you how this thing could shake out. This is 6:30 tonight, and notice from Huntsville down to about Fayette and Vernon, that's where those storms are then. These continue by 10 o'clock across our central county. So if you're in Tuscaloosa and Birmingham, it may very well be later this evening, well after dark, before you have any action down here at all. It could be closer to 9, 10, 11 o'clock, and notice after midnight, At 1 a.m., we still got storms ongoing out there, and that continues into the pre-dawn hours tomorrow morning. I think by mid-morning, the upper air support pulls out. The wind shear begins to lessen a bit, so I think if any tornado threat should diminish by sunrise tomorrow morning. We'll watch that carefully, and always want to remind you information online on Facebook, Twitter, and our weather blog. And we also stream on Facebook Live, so a great way to get weather information from us. If you have severe weather in your local area, we will be there. So again, just want to show you for people just now joining us, coming up on the top of the hour, what we are planning on doing now is top and bottom of each hour. We'll do a cut in to let you know the latest information, and then we'll go back up to program. But we also have our 5, 6, and 10 o'clock news that is coming up tonight. We'll have obviously much more on the weather situation, and if we do have a tornado warning, we will go on and stay on air nonstop. Let me go back over to this and show you what's happening. The watch warning map. Again, a tornado watch continues until 10 p.m. for Lamar, Fayette, Walker, Coleman, Blunt, Etowah, Cherokee. Also in northwest Alabama, you got Winston and Marion counties up here where we have the potential for a few tornadoes. I think that's going to be the highest threat area where we do see a tornado or two this evening as well as tonight. So again, radar is quiet. Just want to reiterate, there's not much happening right now. We don't expect a whole lot to happen over the next hour. But after that, northwest Alabama will begin to deal with some of these thunderstorms in Mississippi. So heads up if you are in the Haydenville area back towards Fayette, Vernon, Hamilton, you will begin to deal with these storms sometime after about 5 p.m. So it may be a little while before it gets to you, so don't let your guard down. We'll continue to update you and let you know what's happening with this as we go through the evening hours. I've also got Brandon Richards and Jennifer Herbert here in the Weather Center with us, so we'll continue to give you those updates throughout the evening. We'll also join our 5 o'clock news as scheduled, pending there are no active tornado warnings. So what we'll do, we'll take a break and come back here at 4:30 for live severe weather update. We'll see you then. And a good Wednesday afternoon to Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. I want to do a quick update of what's happening with the latest weather situation across the area. So we got a tornado watch for our northern counties, north of Tuscaloosa, north of Birmingham, north of Anniston. That is until 10 o'clock tonight. Most likely that will be extended south with time. So we'll begin to see that tornado watch box shifted south. And also the length of time will be likely extended. But back in Mississippi, got one severe thunderstorm warning to the northwest of Starkville, but there's not a whole lot of in terms of tornado warnings back to our west for now. Here's what we got from our Pfeiffer cam in Fayette. It's still a very warm evening, 77 there, that camera side looking northwest. And from Brian Diddy, a toasty 80 degrees now. You can feel that tropical air if you walk outdoors. It feels unstable, and that is certainly the case. And here's what we've got. The Storm Prediction Center still maintains that enhanced risk of severe weather generally north of Tuscaloosa and near north of Birmingham and Anniston. That kind of orange shaded area, that's where that enhanced risk is. To the south of that, including the cities of Tuscaloosa, Demopolis, Greensboro, Marion, and Clanton and Rockford, a slight risk there. That level 2 out of 5. And again, everybody is in a risk for possibly some severe weather this evening and tonight. It's been a slow start to this event. It's one thing we've been monitoring since about midday today, and we are beginning to see storms in Mississippi take those characteristics of rotation, and most likely we'll begin to see some tornado warnings pop pretty soon just across the state line of Mississippi. So again, through tonight, we got the potential for a few isolated tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds over 60 miles an hour, and some of the storms are trained over the same general area. Could end up producing some flooding issues, so we are also concerned about that. In terms of our time frame, if you are up here in northwest Alabama, Vernon towards Fayette, Haydenville, Hamilton, Bexar, Scottsville, we're looking at about now through 10 o'clock tonight. For the rest of our coverage area, 6 p.m. through 6 a.m. Now, most likely it's going to take a little bit longer before it reaches our deep central county south of Birmingham. But again, if you're in West Alabama especially, I would be watching things carefully 6, 7, 8 o'clock tonight, as things should be rather active across central Alabama during that time frame, and then that will shift deeper into central Alabama time. But our time frame is a very large window because this is such a slow moving storm system. So it's going to take a while before that does formally happen, before this storm system comes to the end, at least that risk of severe weather. So here's a look at radar, and what we got is mainly dry conditions across central Alabama. Do note some showers developing now back in Marion County across northwest Alabama. We'll take our Columbus radar and look at that Again, that particular thunderstorm. See back in Mississippi, there's your active weather to the west of Starkville, but a couple little rogue supercells there trying to get organized near the Tupelo area, and one shower near Hamilton. Let's look at that before we go back over the program. This is our northwestern tip of our coverage area. And again, yeah, you see that little shower there that's popped up near the Bexar area, just on the north side of Interstate 22. You see Bexar and Scottsville to the west of Highway 43. And again, this is a tiny cell, but notice that hook feature on the back side of this. This is the Mississippi state line. This is Marion County, Alabama. This is Mississippi. And notice that little hook feature there. We need to watch any little shower thunderstorm that does gain some sort of rotation. Let's look at, there's a new update there, and again, it actually looks a little more impressive there. So while there's not a tornado warning there, you need to watch that if you're northwest of Hamilton. And again, Hamilton's down here at the bottom of your screen. That's I-22. There's Bexar and Scottsville. So there's Highway 19, and this is to the west of that. We'll put on the velocity, and yeah, not a whole lot there right now, but again, something we will continue to monitor over the next several hours. So no formal warnings in our coverage area right now. Still got the tornado watch that goes until 10 o'clock. That's going to be extended later on tonight as well. Dew points in the 60s, plenty of moisture around, and a lot of moisture coming off the Gulf of Mexico. So we got that fuel source. Here's a look at the radar and satellite. Showers and thunderstorms back in Mississippi. Notice how these are beginning to get better organized. So we expect that trend to continue over the next several hours. This moves on through tonight, and we will deal with this for quite some time. This is our high-resolution model data, and just want to show you the new in-house model data. We got storms. This is 7 o'clock, approaching much of northwest Alabama. Some individual cells out ahead of that need to be watched carefully. And through 11 o'clock or midnight, it's still ongoing. This is 1, 2 a.m., still ongoing, and things begin to finally quieten down by sunrise tomorrow morning. So what we'll do is continue to watch this carefully. We'll have updates on our social media sites as well, and on our Facebook Live, the WVUA 23 Facebook page. Search that. We'll be on there. If we get a tornado warning, we'll go on and stay on nonstop. In the meantime, what we'll do is we'll go into our 5 o'clock news coming up in about 25 minutes as regular schedule. If we do get that tornado warning, we'll stay on air until that does expire. I do want to remind you also, we got Jennifer Herbert and Brandon Richards here with us in the Weather Center, and as things begin to get more active, they will be on TV and on air giving you that information as well. So we're going to work this thing and give you that latest updates as they do become available. So what we'll do, we'll see you coming up at 5 o'clock for our news at 5. And this is part of a line of storms here that is moving in. This is our Fayette camera looking in that direction of that tornadic thunderstorm off to the northwest. It's going to be hard to see anything now, but it is something we'll carefully watch with that. So let me go back over to our watch warning map. There's your tornado warning, that county in red, that polygon there, as the cell is moving generally off towards the east. So let's go back into that thunderstorm and show you what we got here. This is moving east at about 45 miles per hour. So pretty fast motion of this thing that's now come out of the Sullivan area. So far, no reports of a tornado down, but that could change very quickly. Let me go back over to our radar out of Columbus, and we should be able to get a better view of this thing as it is moving off towards the east. Let's pan you over there and show you who's dealing with this. If you are in Ewan, you are also in that tornado warning polygon. That's across southern portions of Marion County. There's Beaverton. That's Highway 278 right there, and that's your inflow notch. That's where that fish hook feature is. The potential for a tornado, if there is one, it's going to be right there. This thing has come out of Sullivan now. The National Weather Service mentioned a few minutes ago they're watching this, and they have gone ahead and triggered that tornado warning for the potential could be there for this thing to develop. And I'll tell you what, let's look at our velocity and just kind of watch this thing together and see what we've got. And yeah, there it is. There's our area rotation, or potential tornado could be there. Now understand, this doesn't look like your really incredible velocity couplet you often see in the springtime, but this is one of these low-level rotations very close to the radar side, so there may be something down there. There's a potential there could be something on 278, so if you're in Beaverton, we need you in shelter now, as that is a possibility. Let's put on the correlation coefficient, And that may be something there on 278. We're seeing an area that could be a debris dropout where there may be some different size objects being pulled into the air from this potential tornado there. So this is, again, just to the west of Beaverton, basically on top of Beaverton now. Weather Service mentioning this is still a radar indicated tornado, so this isn't a confirmed one. Go back over to velocity. And let's look at this thing together. Again, there's your area rotation. So heads up, if you're in Beaverton, we need you in shelter now. Let's zoom things out just a bit. I do want to do a pan on this thing so we can show you who's going to be dealing with this potential tornado. And you update there. There's your rotation, basically on the south side of Beaverton, moving east at 45 miles per hour. So certainly a suspicious spot that could develop into a tornado at any time if it hasn't already. Let's do a path on this thing and show you where it's heading, because I need to let everybody know in the path of this communities when you need to be in shelter. And again, this is moving off towards the east at 45. So let's track this thing. There's your rotation near Beaverton, moving off towards the east. Let's move this out to about 45 miles per hour. And that should give us our times of arrival. So again, this is a computer estimated time of arrival. You got to be in shelter before it gets to you. But if you're in Winfield, we're talking about 6:49. That's again on the Fayette, Marion County line. If you're in Ewan, we want you in shelter now, especially Beaverton. This thing's on top of you. Eldridge right there in Walker County, that's going to be at 7:08. Carbon Hill, you see 7:17. Nauvoo at 7:22. And then Holly Grove there at 7:28. So that's where we're looking at for the potential for a tornado with that. We've also got Brandon in the Weather Center. Brandon, I think you've got a mic on now. Brandon, you seeing anything over there with this storm?
No, I've just been watching the rotation. We've been watching it come out of Mississippi, and it just kind of spun up. We're really close to the radar. We're getting a good low-level signature with this from the radar from Columbus. So we're shooting it pretty low, and it's giving us a good signature. And this is on 278 in Lamar County, or just south of 278. It's moving toward the Winfield area. So it's going to follow 278 toward Winfield. It's going to go to the old quarter X, or 118, Alabama 118. It's going to follow east on Winfield toward the Eldridge community. But we've been watching it. I've been switching back and forth between the debris on correlation coefficient. I'm not seeing anything right now that's showing debris, but that could change. And again, we're really close to the radar, so if we're going to have any debris, we're going to see it pretty fast.
Yeah, I think so too, Brandon. And most likely, this isn't going to last very long. This is going to be one of those storms that spins up quickly. This isn't your classic long-track tornado type of situation. But again, we've certainly got that area rotation. So if you're, as Brandon mentioned, if you're anywhere near Ewan or Winfield, even down towards the Bobo area, we need you in shelter. That's Highway 107 there that tracks from Fayette County into southern Marion County. You got a Ewan there, goes up to the north to Hamilton. Again, if you're up towards Hamilton, you're fine. This tornadic thunderstorm is well to your south. It's not a problem for you. But you got Highway 43 that runs to Winfield. And again, if this thing holds together, this area rotation, if it holds together, Winfield, it's going to be very close to you within the next 25 to 30 minutes. So I'd go ahead and go to that safe place now. If you have a local storm shelter, get there quickly. You don't have a lot of time to react, but if you are in a site-built structure ahead of this thing, the lowest floor of your home away from windows is often where we tell people to go, and that's the safest spot in your house. If you got a closet or a bathroom, that could potentially save your life. If you're in a mobile home, got to get out of that. Even if it's a weak EF0 tornado, a mobile home can be destroyed by that. So we always tell people, if you're in a mobile home, got to get out. Don't take a chance with this thing. So that is certainly something we're watching. Let me put on the reflectivity, and again, this is going to give you the raindrop look at this thing. And yeah, just a wicked fishhook looking feature of this thunderstorm. There's no doubt it's rotating. You got your warm air that's inflowing into the updraft region, your thunderstorm. Got rain wrapping around what you call a mesocyclone. That's a rotating part of the thunderstorm. It extends thousands of feet off the ground. And below that was where your tornado could develop. And again, as Brandon mentioned, this thing is not far from the radar site out of Columbus. So again, we're sampling air very close to the ground level. So if we're seeing a couplet near the ground, most likely it could extend down to the surface. So we're now seeing this thing shift off towards the east now. If you are in Beaverton, we can tell you're okay in Beaverton, but again, just east of town, Now to the south of 278, looks like this thing, since it's going east, 278 kind of moves northeast there. It is tracked now to the south, so that's where this thing's heading. But again, if you are in Winfield, Glen Allen, we need you in shelter now. And I tell you what, I want to show everybody out there just for a moment, because I know we've got folks watching for other parts of central Alabama. This is our wide view here, and show you all of central Alabama. So far, if you are in Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Anniston, and south, there are no problems at all. That may change tonight. Doesn't mean you're out of the woods, but the potential is there. We got a couple of supercell thunderstorms back in Mississippi, well south of Columbus, approaching the Macon area. Those bear watching, but they haven't shown signs of intense rotation as of right now. That could change at any minute, as that possibility is still there. And I tell you what, guys at the back, are we on Facebook Live too? I do want to check on that. Okay, and we are. So if you lose power, if you can't watch us on television, we're also on the WVUA 23 Facebook page, so you can watch our live stream on our website too, WVUA23.com. So multiple sources, you can get that information. All right, so let's go back into that storm that we are watching now. Moving out of Lamar County. Essentially, it's going to be tracking right along the Fayette and Marion County line. This is a tiny tornado warning polygon, as most likely with this type of setup, this QLCS, quasi-linear convective system, fancy term for squall line, and that is moving east. And typically, we get these, looks like a new update with that. Okay, so that's still radar indicated. All right, so we got a new tornado warning update there that's now solely for southern Marion, northern Fayette County. This is well to the north of downtown Fayette. This will not include you in Fayette. So if you're there in the downtown area, there's no problems with this particular thunderstorm. It's certainly tracking to your north. It will cross 43, not too far away from the Winfield area. It's going to be tracking very close to the Glen Allen area and southern portions of Marion County. That's your inflow notch. That's your potential tornado there. Let's look at the information on this thing and just see what we got here in terms of our hazard display, and see if our computer algorithm here is triggering anything. And so far, yeah, you got that meso. We know it's rotating, but fortunately, we don't see that TDS indicator, which often shows we have debris. We got a problem. So far, we don't see any sign of debris with that, but that could be changing at any time. Put on the lightning display. We got enhancement of lightning out ahead of this thunderstorm, which shows a strong updraft. That is a sign of a stronger thunderstorm. So we certainly have that, and that is across southern Marion County there. Brilliant and Winfield, you're seeing quite a bit of lightning. Glen Allen dealing with that as well. So this is all now east of Sulligent, east of Beaverton, where this potential tornado is. So let me put on the warning, and again, this will just show you the polygon. So understand the red polygon indicating where we have a possibility of a tornado going to be trafficking. It's now totally out of Lamar County. So if you're in Lamar County, you're fine. This is now into southern Marion, northern Fayette, right on the county line there. And I tell you what, Brandon, I would be interesting to watch that Fayette camera as well. I know it's going to be quite a ways away from that camera side, but it's something we need to carefully monitor.
Yeah, I'm watching it. The lightning, like you mentioned, the lightning display. The lightning has picked up on this thunderstorm, and I was just kind of looking at radar behind the scenes here. And we've got some gate-to-gate shear of about 70 to 80 miles per hour. I was looking at that. So we've got some strong winds with this circulation moving through Lamar County. And so I'll pull up the radar right here, just kind of look at it. It's going toward Winfield now. It's almost at the intersection of, I believe that is 43 and 278 in Winfield. So once it moves through Winfield, then you're going to have Glen Allen. Once it moves through Glen Allen, then you have Eldridge and northwest Walker County. It looks like they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for the southern part of Lamar County.
Yeah, it looks like a large hail for that potential. Brandon, what we're looking at, okay, new severe thunderstorm warning. What we're looking at, this is our Pfeiffer cam at Fayette, and we're looking in that general direction. And again, with the treetops, it's going to be hard to see anything, but we've got quite a bit of lightning out of this, as Brandon was mentioning there, in Lamar and Fayette and Marion County, see there. And what we are carefully watching is these cloud bases. Again, you see right there that rain-free base, but it's just going to be hard to see if there's anything there or not. We're having to totally rely on the lightning illumination to be able to see anything underneath this thunderstorm. And given us a pretty good distance away from Fayette, it's going to be hard to see, but if there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be somewhere down there. to the north of downtown Fayette. Again, this is the Pfeiffer Cam at Fayette. We're looking off towards the north. You got the co-op there. Downtown Fayette is off in the distance there. But again, right there is what we're watching, that rain-free cloud base. And if there is a tornado, you would see it right there. But again, with the treetops, it's going to be hard to kind of see this off in the distance.
Hey, Rich.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I will say that the velocity in the last scan kind of went up a little bit on that southern Marion County storm.
All right, so let's check that out. So again, this is what we're looking at from our Fayette camera. Let me go back over to radar real quick and populate that for you. So there's that storm. So let me put on the velocity display right there and pan you back down into this thunderstorm. So you mentioned the rotation seems to be coming up just a bit. Yeah, there it is right there. Essentially, it has passed Highway 107 now. It is right on the county line. So if you're in Winfield, I'll tell you what, I'd be in shelter pretty quick. If you are in downtown Winfield, we were watching our Pfeiffer Cam at Fayette. Again, it's a little far away to be able to see anything in terms of storm structure, basically because of the treetops. But yeah, this thing right here, this area of stronger winds indicating where there could be a potential tornado. And given the fact that we're sampling air not far off the ground level, I would not be surprised if we have a tornado down now. It hasn't been confirmed, but again, based off that look, I think we may have a small tornado down. It's not going to be your long track violent tornado, but again, this could easily be a weaker tornado that could cause a threat to life and property. So if you are in downtown Winfield on Highway 43, anywhere in downtown, we need you in shelter. Again, out of a mobile home, site-built structure, interior room, closet that could protect your life from the potential flying debris. We do not have confirmation of a tornado down, but I just say this, I've seen a lot of these things. This could be a brief tornado touchdown, and it is awfully close to Winfield right now. So let's put on the debris detector here, and again, so far it's clean. We don't see it there, but keep in mind, this thing could change in a heartbeat, and it's awfully close to the downtown Winfield area. So shelter now in Winfield. That's in the southern portion of Marion County, just on the north side of Bobo. If you're down 43, you're okay south of there, but to the north, anywhere near this county line, you got to be in shelter. Next up is going to be Glen Allen. So let me zoom out just a bit and show you a little bit of a wider view, because I know we got other parts of the area dealing with this. So again, there's southern Marion County. We're watching very carefully our debris detection, our correlation coefficient. If we have a little spot pop up there, we'll know there's a tornado down, but so far we don't see any confirmation of that. We got a debris, we got at least a velocity couplet now, and let's put on that. Okay, there it is. So Winfield, Glen Allen, Texas, Eldridge, you got to be in shelter. You got to be in shelter now. So if you are, again, in a site-built home, lowest floor, closet, interior room. And so far, I haven't seen anything.
We're getting unconfirmed reports on social media of power flashes in Gewin.
In Gewin, and that would be very close to where this possible tornado would be. So here is our velocity. This is our scan representing where we have some strong winds. And I tell you what, let's look at the information on that couplet there and just see how strong the winds are. We're showing a gate-to-gate shear of 65 miles an hour. This isn't an overly strong tornado, but understand an EF0 can bring trees down, can cause problems, threat your life and property. So again, even if it's a weak, brief EF0 type of tornado or EF1, this can be a threat to life and property, and it's just about to move over Winfield. I would say within the next 5 minutes it'll be over downtown Winfield, and if there's a tornado down, we're going to know about it very quick based off this is about to move in populated area. So Gewin, you're now all clear. It has moved to your east. But there it is right there. So Winfield, if you are near or south of Tucker, shelter now. Glen Allen, Texas, Eldridge. Eventually this will be approaching the Nauvoo, Kansas area across northwest of Walker County. Not a
Richard,
tornado warning for there. Go ahead.
they're saying that they're seeing power flashes just south of 22, Interstate 22 now.
Yeah, just below 22. So, again, I'm telling you, I've seen this look many times. Most likely, we got at least a brief tornado touchdown based off of that signature right there. I would not be surprised if we don't get a correlation coefficient dropout at any time. So we're watching this area here. This is our debris detector, debris signature detector, and so far we don't see anything yet. But I'm telling you, I think this thing could touch down. If it does, most likely it will be brief, but it doesn't matter. Take shelter, take this thing serious. Let's go back over to our reflectivity. I tell you what, we're going to take Columbus because this is still pretty far from Birmingham, and still that wicked fish hook, that inflow notch coming into Winfield downtown. All right. Heavy rain over the Twin area, brilliant. You're going to have heavy rain, possibly some large hail out of that, but our tornado potential is right on the county line. This thing is, there's Fayette County, this is Marion County. Next up, if this continues, we'll have to deal with Walker County to the northwest side of Carbon Hill, especially, and you may have to deal with that. But again, it's moving off towards the east at 45 miles per hour, the latest from the National Weather Service. Let me zoom out just for a moment and show everybody out there, because I know we are on multiple sources here. We're streaming online, also Facebook Live, and obviously through television. Just want to show everybody out there. We got, again, this dangerous thunderstorm over the Marion-Fayette County line. We got another thunderstorm, and this thing seems to be kind of beefing back up to the southwest of Macon, Mississippi. If this thing continues to organize, we may have to watch this thing for southern Pickens and northern Sumter County. Again, there's not a tornado warning for that. Let's look at this thing just for a moment. I do want to see what is happening with that particular thunderstorm. And I'll tell you what, Brandon, this thing is certainly interesting back here just to the southwest of Macon, Mississippi.
Yeah, they said they're watching it pretty closely.
Yeah, there's DeKalb, Mississippi, Scuba, Shuqualak, and Macon. This is a very familiar area for tornado tracks. If you've been watching tornado coverage for a long time, it seems like this is a very common area for a tornado to develop and move into Sumter and Pickens County. We'll look at the velocity display with that just for a moment. And there's some weak rotation there. This isn't overly impressive at the moment, but again, this could change very quickly.
We're seeing a CC drop out east of Winfield, the debris tracker.
Okay, let's go to it. Check it out. Again, that'll be to the east of Winfield. This is in Marion County. And let me zoom out and pan you into that thing. So again, what you're looking at, this is the velocity. This is the wind measurement inside the thunderstorms. So let's take you into this thing now. And it looks like some stronger wind showing up there in Lamar County, south of Vernon. We need to watch that carefully, too, for any sort of spin-up potential there. All right, so the rotation is now east of downtown Winfield. So if there was a tornado pass through there, we're going to know very quickly about that. Let's look at the debris. Yeah, Brandon, you're talking about that spot on 118 just on the east side of town there.
Yes, the new update has it a little more clear. Also, from the chat, I'm looking here. EMA relays that damage reports are starting to come in from Winfield. We have no specifics yet.
Okay. And again, Weather Service mentioning that too. This thing, no doubt, has done something here. We're just getting the information in, so this is very preliminary information. So if this did indeed touch down, this ups the ante a bit in terms of if you're east of this thing. So again, Glen Allen, I need you in shelter. Texas, Eldridge, I need you in shelter. If you are south of Tucker on 129, essentially where 129 hits 118 there, that's where this possible tornado would be. This isn't a confirmed tornado, but it is the possibility of one. Still got a velocity couplet there. And I will say this, it's not as impressive as it was 5 minutes ago in terms of the wind, the velocity couplet, but still there could be one down. I don't think this thing's going to last very long if there is one there. Waiting on that new update with our correlation coefficient. Let's look at our hazard here. And I don't see anything new on that with our hazard. So still not seeing an official TDS yet. Again, that could change. So let's go back over to our debris signature. Brandon mentioned, yeah, there it is. That's it. We got a tornado down. That's debris that is being lofted there on 129, the intersection 129 and 118 there to the east side of Winfield. So I think we had a tornado go through Winfield. Most likely not a very strong tornado, but I think we got a tornado down. That is just to the northwest of Glen Allen. Again, so there's 118, 129. That's your tornado. If the Weather Service hasn't confirmed it, they will soon. And if they do, let me know, Brandon. But again, 129 and 118, this is our tornado here. It has passed through downtown Winfield. This thing must have moved right over town. It's picked up some debris now since it moved over a populated area, and we're now starting to see that on our correlation coefficient. This is our debris tracker. This is the different size objects that's being lofted in the atmosphere. Thousands of feet up, we can see different size objects. This is our radar trying to tell us, hey, something's not right here. This isn't raindrops, and we can see that right there. So again, let's pan this thing off towards the east because this tornado is moving essentially down 118 right there, down 118. There's Glen Allen right on the Fayette and Marion County line. If you are in, and especially on the north side of Glen Allen, getting shelter now as we have a tornado down. This thing's could eventually cross 233. That's Alabama State Highway 233. All right, and if it continues, there's Texas there. You got Eldridge that's going to be in the path of this tornado, and it's going to cross the Highway 13 just on the west side of Eldridge. Most likely, it may be a hair to the north. Looks like we got a new update. Let's look at this thing together. So brand new correlation coefficient update. All right, still there. That's it right there to the north of Glen Allen. So again, it's now crossed at a Highway 129 interchange of Highway 118 on the east side of Winfield. So again, our tornado is right there, continues to move off towards the east. So we need you in shelter quickly. If you are in southeast Marion County, again, this thing will continue to move off towards the east. Again, you see some of the road there. This is Wicks circle there. The potential for a tornado is going to cross there in the next 5 minutes, so we've got to be in shelter now. County Road 72, that's County Road 72. That's a Wick circle there. Again, that's where your tornado is going to cross to the north side of Glen Allen. All right, so if you are in Glen Allen or to the north on County Road 72, especially near the Wick Circle area, that's where this potential tornado is going to be. Next up, we've got a major highway, that's Alabama Highway 233, as there is a potential tornado there that's going to be crossing there. And see if I can get another road to pop up. And again, let me clear that information off the screen for you and put back on the velocity. And Brandon, if you have any information coming across the chat room from the National Weather Service, let me know. That's your rotation right there, what's left of it, essentially right on Highway 118 right there.
It might be going through a cycle.
Yeah.
It's occluded, and we might have a new signature pop up later, but the National Weather Service in Birmingham wanted to bring some attention to the central Lamar County storm. It's not rotating, but they said there could be some large hail developing with that thunderstorm.
All right, let's go down there. Again, while the storm seems to be in a cycle process, as Brandon mentioned, it seems to be occluding off. Your outflow winds are pinching off the updraft just a bit, so we may see this thing fizzle out, but still, got to be at shelter. Let's go down to the south and look at, tell you what, let me zoom out just enough so you can see a wider view. I know we're kind of tight in here. Just wanted to focus on that spot. Yeah, it looks like our rotation, Brandon, temporarily is dying there in southeast Marion County. We'll go down to the south and look at the reflectivity out of Columbus. And let's look at that large hail potential right now. Yeah, just on the east side of Vernon. Tell you what, we've also got another inflow notch beginning to develop there to the southeast of Vernon that bears watching. I saw on the velocity product, there's nothing there in terms of rotation now, but there is that large hail potential on Highway 18 that's from downtown Vernon towards the east side of town, and certainly could see at least quarter-size hail out of this. And I would be interesting to see if there's any reports coming out of Vernon. This thing looks like it's right on downtown Vernon as we speak.
I will say we will have a really good shot from our Fayette camera pretty soon.
Yeah, this thing's going to track just to the northwest there. So again, what you're looking at is large hail potential that has developed off to the northwest of Fayette. This is over the Vernon area, and this has that potential to also produce a tornado. While there's not a tornado warning for that, it does have that possibility of doing that. And I'm checking some things behind the scenes here just to see what we've got here in terms of information. So far,
I will say
haven't
that
heard anything out of Vernon yet.
the debris signature east of Glen Allen has popped back up. I don't know. That might be, debris that was previously lofted that's just now coming down. But it's still there.
All right, so let's go into that, and while we show you that, here's a wide view, and here's your line of severe thunderstorms over northwest Alabama, and there's that one supercell thunderstorm that's moving almost due east. That's going to be coming into northern Sumter and southern portions of Pickens County. We'll have to watch you guys carefully for any potential rotation out of that. So let's go into, and I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, Brandon, if you'll put me back in play mode there, I can control this from the wall. So there's your line of thunderstorms there that's tracking off towards the east. So let me zoom you into this thing that is moving east and what's left of this possible tornado. I mean, it was based off what we are looking at. This thing is certainly down, moved right over the Winfield area. So let me take you into our correlation coefficient. Brandon, you mentioned that it looks like a debris. Yeah, right there. Look at that. So go back into it. It doesn't look that impressive on velocity, but there's no doubt that's still that little debris signature. And you mentioned this may be just debris still falling out of the sky, but I don't want to take a chance with this thing. So 233 and 118, if you're on Alabama, 233, Alabama 118, especially near the Texas area, you got to be in shelter now. This potential tornado is tracking your way. And there's no doubt we've got at least debris lofted there, whether there's still a tornado down or not. Okay, looks like we got a report here from the fire and rescue up there. Observed cone tornado just south of I-22 at exit 34, multiple power flashes. That was at 6:54. So right now, just south of Interstate 22, so fire and rescue there reporting a tornado down with power flashes. So again, we still got a tornado there that's moving across southeast Marion County that is producing damage right now. That's just north of the Fayette County line. There's new updates, still got debris there, whether the tornado is still down or not. We got to treat it like it is. And formally, there's not a tornado warning yet for Walker County. And it would be interesting to see if they extend that or not. Go ahead, Brandon.
Richard, I've got a picture I'm about to pull up on the weather iPad in just a moment of some damage in Winfield. Okay, and I don't know, Catherine or Jen, are you in the control room? Okay, Catherine, just be on standby for that. Brandon's got some information for us on that. Let me put on our velocity. I just want to look at this thing together. And I'll tell you this, the velocity signature is just fizzled out tremendously. It's still something there, but I'm not seeing a strong indication of a tornado. I don't know if they're going to continue this warning into Walker yet. They're running out of time, so if they're going to do it, they need to do it quick. I've got the picture pulled up on the weather iPad. All right. This is from Stats is Chasing, and this is downtown Winfield. So we've got looks like some of the roof in the road in the background. Looks like they still have power in some places, but yeah, it looks like some of the roofing of some of the nearby buildings in the road. Yeah, no doubt. I think this was a tornado down with that. And again, so far, Brandon, this is again in Winfield. So this is in downtown Winfield, and you see the debris in the streets there. And looks like some damage to some awnings off of the distance. So looks like Winfield did take a hit by a tornado there in southern Marion County. Winfield sits right on the Fayette-Marion County line, well south of Fayette, or well south of Marion, well north of Fayette. And looks like we got some damage there that's most likely related to a tornado. If not, it would be from strong winds wrapping around the tornado. But again, that looks like a possible tornado damage there. But based off what we saw with the debris signature, based off what we saw with that, the velocity, the wind, most likely this was a tornado that did touch down and went right through the Winfield area. We're talking about that as it moved towards the Winfield, and unfortunately this thing has done damage. Let's look at the debris
detection now. So again, still seeing some debris there to the northwest of Eldridge. So if you are north of Carbon Hill, especially towards Prospect and Nauvoo, and points west into this circulation, while there is not a formal tornado warning for Walker, I don't believe. Yeah, so the tornado warning ends at Eldridge, or just west of there. I would go to shelter and treat it like if there were a tornado here. Based off of what has happened so far. Go ahead,
The National
Jennifer.
Weather Service is just confirming trees down in the structural damage in Winfield, as well as reports of damage near the train tracks in Glen Allen.
Okay, and I've got actually a friend of mine lives in Glen Allen, so I'm going to check with him too and see if he's okay. Beekeeper friend of mine up there, and so that looks like it's right in his area. So again, this thing is tracking essentially on the Fayette and Marion County line, now to the east of Winfield. Looks like we got a severe thunderstorm warning just pop up down there. You guys see that? What is that for Fayette County? Yeah, there we go.
60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail.
Okay, and I'll tell you what, we've got our Fayette camera. Let me go over that just for a moment. There we go. And look at the lightning, goodness. Brandon, if you would, let's pan that thing off to the west and just watch this thing just a bit. And tilt up if you can on this camera. So this is the Pfeiffer cam. This is the Pfeiffer facility there in Fayette. And we're looking due west now and into a severe thunderstorm that's approaching downtown Fayette. And again, this is not a rotating thunderstorm, but this is a storm that is producing large hail there. And I'm not seeing any sign of rotation, thankfully, but there is some large hail falling out of this storm. And it looks like the large hail core may try to build into Fayette. It's going to be an awfully close call there. I do want to remind you too that we are streaming on Facebook Live. So if you have a power outage in your area, if you have any reports, you pass along through Facebook Live too. We'll keep an eye on that, and if you got any reports where you are, we would appreciate that as well.
Looks like Birmingham is going to cancel the tornado warning for Marion and Fayette counties, and they're not going to extend it at this time.
Okay, so again, they're going to allow this warning to expire there. That we had just been mentioning that this is going to be one of those situations they got to make a decision quickly on that. So they're going to cancel that tornado warning. What we're looking at, this is our Fayette camera, or Pfeiffer cam at Fayette. And I tell you what, Brandon, let's pan back to the north just a bit. And you're looking live from the Pfeiffer facility in Fayette. And we've had a tremendous amount of lightning. There's a large hail core just to the northwest of downtown Fayette. And this may extend into town over the next 10 to 15 minutes. Go a little bit more towards the north there. Just want to kind of watch these cloud bases here while we've got you. Because there was a suspicious area with this storm in terms of an inflow notch, but I don't see anything down right now. Let me go back over to our Bryant Denny camera, this in Tuscaloosa, and again looking back towards those storms as well. So we'll go back over to radar, and I do want to take note of this thunderstorm south of Shuqualak, Mississippi. So far this thing is behaving as it approaches northern Sumter County, but again, let's keep an eye on it. If you're in Geiger and ML in Gainesville, let's watch it. And there's nothing confirmed or nothing down right now, but this thing could change. Let's go off towards the north and show you the storm that is in Lamar and Fayette County. This storm, again, this thing has that little inflow notch there. You see that, Brandon, crossing the county line there, approaching downtown Fayette. There's not a tornado warning, but let's watch it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been looking at it. Currently, the velocity doesn't have any kind of rotation with it currently, but more straight line winds. But I will say the hail core is intensifying, and Birmingham is also seeing that as well. So we could be getting up from quarter to golf ball size hail with this storm.
Yeah, and golf ball size hail will cause some problems. So if you are in downtown Fayette, you got some large hail that is approaching your area and it's building kind of off towards the southeast direction. So let me take you into that thunderstorm. And let me mention this too, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. I think we had a hit of a tornado in downtown Winfield based off of reports and some damage we've been seeing there through social media. So it does look like we had a tornado touchdown. We saw that on the debris tracker, the correlation coefficient. And I think we had a tornado at least briefly touch down in southern Marion County. This is not a tornadic thunderstorm that's coming in the Fayette area, but it is a thunderstorm that has that potential to produce large hail that's just on the northwest side of town. This could have some golf ball size hail with that. So let me zoom you into that thunderstorm. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm warning for Fayette County. That's Highway 107 that runs down to Highway 18, interchanges at 18 to the west of Fayette. Again, you got a downtown, 171 runs down in Tuscaloosa County. But right now, if you are from downtown Fayette up 43 towards, I'd say all the way towards Marion County line, if you're traveling, I'd pull over. This thing's going to have some big hail, and this hail could crack windshields, could cause problems. So driving on 43, let's pull over, find a shelter, find somewhere to get underneath. If you are in a car, there's not a tornado here, but we've got that suspicious inflow notch. And let's look at our velocity just to make sure we don't have anything there. Yeah, it looks like some strong outflow winds that's approaching Fayette to the north side of Belk. So again, if you are in Fayette, we need you to be ready for large hail and damaging wind potential. Severe thunderstorm warning continues in effect there right now. Let's see. Just checking information here behind the scenes. I have not seen any sign of rotation with that storm to the south that's coming into Sumter in Pickens County. So far, that one seems to be behaving. Doesn't mean that's going to continue, but at least that's a promising trend. So again, formally we have no tornado warnings in our coverage area. Let me take you out to wide view here. It is just after 7 o'clock now. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott here. We've got Brandon Richards and Jennifer Herbert here in the Weather Center with us. We continue to monitor this severe weather event. So far tonight, we think we've had at least one brief tornado touchdown in downtown Winfield. Brandon brought you the images there coming from downtown. So we've got this line of thunderstorms for folks just now joining us, passing across northwest Alabama. And there you go, there's your storms. And we got this one storm that just continues to hang in there that is south of Macon, Mississippi. And this thing's about to cross the state line. There's still, it's just not able to get its act together. But it bears watching. If you are in West Alabama, especially near the Sipsey River, let's watch this thing. It's not a tornadic thunderstorm, not even a severe thunderstorm warning for it, but with the environment, some wind shear, some uplift, and plenty of instability, this thing could go at any time. So let's watch that. So the severe thunderstorm warning continues for Lamar and Fayette counties. We have a large hail potential there in that part of Alabama. There is a tornado watch in effect for Tuscaloosa County. Hail green Sumter points north and points to the east through 10 o'clock tonight. And that may be allowed to extend further southeast with time if we do still have a supportive setup for severe weather tonight. So again, let's go into that thunderstorm in Fayette County while we got you on air. And I'll tell you what, go ahead.
Ping pong ball sized hail with that now.
All right, so we got some pretty large hail there just north of Fayette. Let's go into that thing. And we've had some large hail over the years fall in downtown Fayette. There was a storm, several years back. We had huge hail in downtown Fayette. So, anybody in that area knows it can get ugly quickly, and there's your large hail core now on the north side of Fayette. This is such a close call, but it really, if this trend continues, downtown Fayette may be okay, but between Hubbardsville and Fayette, you're about to have some large hail. So again, if you're traveling tonight, if you're in a car, I'd pull over, find a shelter somewhere to get into, because we do have that large hail potential, and hailstones that large could cause problems, could crack your windshield. So we don't want you driving through that, obviously. We don't see any evidence of a tornado there, but it doesn't mean there's not one. In fact, I tell you what, let's go back over to our Pfeiffer cam at Fayette, and let's just look at this thing carefully as we do pan this area here. This is from Fayette. We're kind of zooming around there. And I tell you what, if there's anything down, it will be in that area, but I haven't seen any lightning, which is very surprising considering the large hail core out of this. You know, Brandon, I don't know if you noticed that, but I've not seen any lightning in the past minute.
Yeah, it had a little bit more lightning when it was in Lamar County. Now that it's moved into Fayette, the lightning output has kind of decreased a little bit.
Yeah, and again, you see the flag there. There's some lightning whipping in the wind. And let me zoom this camera out just a bit and make sure we can see. Okay, I think we are zoomed out all the way. So you see the wind really picking up there in Fayette. Most likely what that is those outflow winds that we were talking about coming into downtown Fayette. And you could have winds over 50 miles an hour with that. That could bring down some trees and power lines. But if you are in downtown Fayette, this isn't a tornado warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning and a storm that is capable of producing very large hail on the north side of Fayette between the Hubbardsville area and Fayette. It's going to be crossing 43 very shortly. And we've also got a Bryant-Denny camera looking in that same direction towards that severe thunderstorm well to the north and west of Tuscaloosa. There's your cloud bases there. We've seen some vivid lightning off to the west and northwest Tuscaloosa. And you see
Richard,
a little bit there. Go ahead.
I'm not just ready to throw in the towel on that northern Walker County, southern Winston County storm. It might be going through a cycle. The velocity has kind of upticked in the last minute, but it isn't a favorable environment. It's right in that boundary where the cool air to the north and the warm air to the south are meeting.
Yeah, and that boundary spells trouble. You typically get an enhanced shear and convergence, and whenever you have an atmosphere like tonight, that could cause a tornado to drop quickly. So again, that's something we're watching. Here is the watch warning map. I do want to show you this. And we got, again, the severe thunderstorm warning for southern Lamar County, central Fayette County, large hail potential there. It is interesting to note, guys, that they have dropped all counties out of the tornado watch back in Mississippi. Is that a trend that's going to continue? That would be nice, but we're going to watch it very carefully. Still got West Alabama and North Alabama in that tornado watch technically until 10 o'clock tonight, as there is the potential. Again, this is our Pfeiffer cam. Look at the wind picking up there, the flags. This is outflow winds, the gust front that you feel that cold air out ahead of the thunderstorm. You see the lightning there and wind really picking up at Fayette. You see the lights there shaking in their tree in the front. And again, this is not a tornadic thunderstorm, but you could have wind strong enough to bring down some trees in Fayette. So again, keep in mind, while this isn't a tornado warning, it doesn't take a tornado to drop some trees down in your area. So that's something we're watching carefully. Let's go back to this storm down here in Shuqualak, Mississippi, and let me stop this loop here, and let's just look at the velocity together, because I'm telling you, this thing is trying its best to do something. You see that weak area rotation right on Highway 45 over Shuqualak and maybe just south of there between Shuqualak and DeKalb and Scuba, dealing with that area weak rotation. It's not to the point to where there's a tornado warning for that, but it's a storm all out here by itself. You see right there, there's Scuba, Mississippi on Highway 45. That runs into Geiger, Alabama. Again, that's Highway 16 that runs into Geiger. Highway 17 runs up and down West Alabama from Geiger up towards the Cochran area. So there's not a tornado warning for that, but if you are in, again, southern Pickens, northern Sumter, let's just watch this thing. There may be a tornado warning come up pretty quickly. Brandon Richards also in the Weather Center. Brandon, anything new coming through social media from the Glen Allen and the Winfield storm?
Nothing new that we don't already know. You know, we have that picture, and I can actually pull it back up on the weather iPad if you want to bring that back up. We have that picture of the damage in downtown Winfield with some of that, the roof and the road. But other than that, and the damage in Glen Allen near the train tracks, we haven't had any other reports of damage coming from that area. I will say that I was just checking the power outage map in that area, and Marion County kind of sticks out. So we've definitely had something move through Marion County for sure.
Yeah, that's the Alabama power outage map. You see some of Lamar and Fayette County in that too. And what you're looking at is, again, this zone of enhanced power outages. This goes by county. So, again, Brandon, I'm glad you mentioned that because I was interested to see what's going on there. So we are seeing some power outages. We know something happened. We believe a tornado touchdown. The Weather Service in Birmingham, what they'll do is send out a survey crew. They'll look at the damage tomorrow and determine whether it's a tornado or not. I think it was, based off what we're seeing, the evidence we're seeing here. So again, that's a storm that continues into Walker County now. This thing is not classified as severe, but we've got some pretty strong winds. It's just passed through Carbon Hill.
They just issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Walker and Winston for 60-mile-per-hour winds.
There we go. All right, so we're just talking about that. Damaging wind potential there for Walker and Winston County for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Tell you what, that looks more, Brandon, I think that's becoming more straight line there. Again, near the Prospect area, maybe something trying to spin up, but again, it looks like this is predominantly outflow winds. That could change. Let me go over to our reflectivity out of Columbus. And yeah, this looks more like a little bit of a bowing feature there developing over Prospect. There's Saragossa there, Gamble, that is Jasper. You've got Nauvoo back here. Looks like the worst of the weather is most likely passed through Nauvoo now. And Carbon Hill still pretty rough there as we speak. But again, if you're in the Winfield area, if you are dealing with damage in your area, we would certainly like to know about it. If you can, let us know through Facebook Live, WVUA23 Facebook page, and we'll try to keep an eye on that and see what you have seen in your area. Let me go back out to a wide view, and looks like downtown Fayette, the worst of that storm is now just to the north of Fayette. Let me take that Pfeiffer cam again. Yeah, see it's raining now in downtown Fayette. That temperature is going to update here in a moment, but I can tell you now it's not 72 there anymore. You have cool outflow winds that have moved through the Fayette area, but you see the American flag there really flapping in that wind in Fayette. And it looks like the wind has changed directions. So most likely that's that cool, stable air that is taking over. This is our Brodini camera here in Tuscaloosa. And again, that's your severe thunderstorm in Fayette County. You're looking at from Brodini. It is currently rain-free. So again, for the moment, we have no tornado warnings, but I'm telling you that thing there needs to be watched.
I believe it's on the uptick, too.
Yeah, if you look at the loop, Brandon and Jennifer, if you look there, you can see that swirl developing there. So this is about to cross into Sumter County, very near the Geiger area. So let's zoom into this thing. I'm going to stop this loop here in just a moment. This is not classified as a tornado. So this thing's rotating. There's no doubt. There's Cooksville. This is East Mississippi. You got Scuba right there and Macon up here. So we're looking at Kemper, Noxubee County, Mississippi.
Severe thunderstorm warning for Greene, Pickens, and Sumter until 8:15.
Does this have a tornado tag on it, or is this regular severe?
Just 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
Yeah, 60-mile-an-hour winds. You know, this thing, there's no doubt it's rotating. The question is, does it extend down to the ground level? We're sampling air a little bit high off the ground, but there's no doubt this whole thing is spinning there. But the Weather Service going ahead and issuing that severe thunderstorm warning for Sumter. Pickens in that, Brandon?
It is, but just the extreme southern part of Pickens. Like it doesn't even include Aliceville, so it's south of Aliceville.
Okay, so again, there's your area rotation, predominantly strong straight line winds out ahead of that. Geiger, ML, you got some strong winds. There's ML down there. I'd say it's going to be north of ML, but again, close call for some strong wind potential out of that. If you're in ML, you probably see all the lightning off to the north. So let me put on the reflectivity. Well, I'll tell you what, before we do that, let's put on the watch warning map. And again, severe thunderstorm warning for the extreme southern portion of Pickens. So we've got northern Sumter, northern Greene County underneath that severe thunderstorm warning. Strong damaging wind potential coming out of East Mississippi. But again, it looks like they just added Noxubee and Kemper in Mississippi. So far I do not see.
On DeBlock, he's the
he's over at NWS in Birmingham, yes.
Right, yeah. He said that there's definitely a meso there, which is, a wall cloud. We have something there. We just don't have it reaching the ground right now. But he said he's watching it very closely moving into northern Sumter near Geiger.
Yeah, so again, if you're in northern Sumter County, storm we're watching with some sign of rotation. This thing could go tornadic at any time. So just want to hang out with you here for a little bit of 7:19 now, or just after 7:15. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott, Jennifer Herbert, and Brandon Richards in the Weather Center with us as well. And what we're doing, we got several severe thunderstorms across west Alabama. We got one that's on the Winston-Walker County line north of Jasper, one that's just passed east of downtown Fayette, especially on the north side, Hubbardsville being impacted by that, and a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been posted for northern Sumter, northern Greene County, and southern portions of Pickens County, essentially near that Sipsey River. Now down to the south, there's that orange polygon representing that severe thunderstorm warning there. The counties in yellow, that is a tornado watch until 10 o'clock. And really only in Alabama and a few counties in Tennessee, northwest Georgia, and that's the only spot that has a tornado watch, which is quite interesting. There are no counties in Mississippi underneath the tornado watch right now. Let's go back over to Columbus radar and show you that storm that has us concerned. All these storms have us concerned. The one that sticks out like a sore thumb is this one down here by itself, the supercell thunderstorm. We have this bowing feature that is likely producing some damaging winds here in southern Winston County and northern Walker County. See that bow feature there? Keep in mind now that's your strong outflow winds propagating the storm out in a bow. And anytime you see that, your apex of the bow is typically where your stronger winds are. That coordinates well with the severe thunderstorm warning polygon you see right there. This thing's going to cross Smith Lake in a matter of 15, 20 minutes. Fayette County, I don't see any tornado potential with that storm. This looks like a wind-driven storm, straight line wind rather than circulating wind, but still that could bring down some trees and power lines. Let's go down to the south and look at this thing. Again, if you're in Tuscaloosa, no problems right now. Of course, everybody in Tuscaloosa watching this thing down here. This storm is moving more east rather than northeast. So, again, if I had a guess for right now, I would say this thing, if it continues, would track more across Greene and then southern Tuscaloosa County based off of what we're looking at right now. And, Brandon, you're in the Weather Center, too, watching things. Anything coming across your end there with this storm?
The one coming into Sumter County?
Yes.
No, I mean, I've been watching it for quite a while, for the last at least 30 minutes. And in the last 30 minutes, it has strengthened some. The lightning input or output has increased with it as well. But the rotation, it's broad. It's there, but it's broad. It's not quite tight enough to produce a tornado at this point, but it is pretty strong. Yeah,
that could continue. The environment out ahead of this thing, it's still conducive for severe weather.
Yeah, I mean, sitting in Tuscaloosa right now, it's 75 degrees, and we have a dew point of 63 in late December. So, you usually see that more in March, but not in December. So this storm has definitely got some instability and shear still to work with. We're still 7:22 in the evening. We said we had a wide time span where we could have that threat of severe weather. So we're actually really just getting started, and we still have the rest of the evening to work with. And as you go through the evening, that low-level jet, the surface wind will pick up, and that can kind of increase the shear with these thunderstorms.
Yeah, and Brandon and Jennifer, any of these storms like this right here, when that low-level jet kicks in, the shear increases tonight, these could go tornadic in a hurry. And again, this storm, no doubt, has my eyes right now. So again, Geiger, West Greene, north of Utah there towards Knoxville, you do have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for you. It's not a tornado warning, but it is a storm that bears close watching. So let's look at the velocity with this one more time. And I'll tell you what we'll do here in just a few minutes, since we don't have any active tornado warnings. Let's see, it's 7:23 now. We'll send it back here in just a moment. Let's hang out here till 7:30. And if this thing doesn't spin up more, Brandon, I think we can go back to program temporarily. So again, there's your storm down there moving out of East Mississippi into West Alabama with a potential some rotation there. It's broad so far, but that could change. We've got another thunderstorm up here that's in northern portions of Walker County. From Birmingham, this thing, it's got some rotation. This is more of your mid and high level rotation, not necessarily at the ground level. You can see that. This is velocity from Birmingham. We'll go back to Columbus. And you notice how it changes there. You don't see that strong rotation. So, again, most likely what this is, there's rotation a few thousand feet up and not down at the ground level. But let me say this. When this thing moves into Coleman County, the National Weather Service office in Huntsville will have to make a decision whether they issue a tornado warning for Coleman County or go with that severe thunderstorm warning. But so far, I have not seen anything from that. Go ahead.
Getting some damage in Lamar County at the EMA. They're reporting some trees down on the north end of the county near Beaverton. That would kind of match up with where we had that initial signature when we first came on with that tornado warning.
Yeah, that makes sense. So if there wasn't a tornado down the whole time, perhaps it was skirting with the ground a little bit. That tornadic thunderstorm started very close to Sulligent, tracked on 278 there towards the Beaverton area, and then Winfield, dealing with that. All right, and then it tracked into Carbon Hill. This is what's left of it. You kind of see that kind of that rotational feature on the back side of the storm. Again, it's a high level, high altitude rotation, not necessarily rooted at the ground level. So Weather Service is not issuing a tornado warning for that for now, but there is a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for that particular storm. Fayette, Calera, things have really calmed down a lot. Still got some rain falling, but in terms of rotation, there's nothing there.
I want to take the weather iPad. I have a new picture. It's from the same guy who gave us the damage in Winfield. So this is Stas is chasing.
Oh, wow, look at that.
He got a picture of the tornado, and that's being illuminated by the power flashes. So that was as it was moving through Winfield. It looks, I mean, looks pretty sizable. Of course, we're not going to know that until tomorrow when we get the first light of day. So, but we do know there's some structural damage, and I can actually pull that back up. Just give me one moment.
Tell you what, yeah, there it is, Brandon.
Yeah, so that's the damage in downtown Winfield. That's what we have picture-wise that we can show you, some structural damage in downtown.
Yeah, so again, that's what we're looking at with most likely what was a tornado down in downtown Winfield. I have not heard of any major reports so far, which is interesting. We'll see if that continues, but certainly some structural damage in Winfield. Let's go back over to our Fayette camera. And again, had heavy rain pass through that severe thunderstorm that's now north of Tuscaloosa. And we have seen some lightning output out of that as well. Here's our watch warning map. And again, this is what you got. The tornado watch continues for the counties in yellow. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings for these orange polygons across West Alabama. Again, we continue with the severe weather risk into tonight through 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. This is the brand new update from the Storm Prediction Center. Their enhanced risk continues for North Alabama in the orange shaded area, generally north of Birmingham now. And again, in that zone, there could be damaging winds, could be a tornado or two. That tornado potential as far south as Tuscaloosa and Demopolis. That's in that slight risk area, and then a marginal risk goes all the way down to the Alabama Gulf Coast. So this will continue to move on through tonight. I just want to look at the parameters now. 76 in Tuscaloosa, 77 in Demopolis, and here's a look at the radar. We got this weak area low pressure up here, and that's what's enhancing this line of thunderstorms. Back in Mississippi, I'm not seeing a whole lot happen back here. That's good, so hopefully that trend will continue, but certainly can't guarantee that. Let me go back. I tell you what, let's go back over to radar and show you what we've got. Is that new severe thunderstorm warning, Brandon, for...
It's a continuation, so they're continuing the severe thunderstorm warning for Sumter, Pickens, and Greene County until 8:15.
Okay, so they didn't change the text on that. So again, we got a rotating thunderstorm, could be producing some damaging winds now crossing the state line just north of the Geiger area. And that's Highway 17. This is not classified as tornadic, but it is certainly a storm that bears watching. Put on the velocity display. And again, there's some broad rotation that's crossing the state line, about to cross Highway 17. The Weather Service believes there's more of a damaging wind threat from this storm, maybe some large hail. But right now, we're not looking at a classic tornado signature from that. But again, there's no doubt there's some spin going on down here. But the Weather Service, again, so far issuing severe thunderstorm warning rather than a tornado warning. Let me pan off to the northeast just a bit, see if we catch Birmingham's radar. There we go. Let me step off the screen. Yeah, from Birmingham, mainly straight line winds, but understand Birmingham is sampling air quite a ways off the surface. So just let's watch it. So if you are in West Green, if you are generally north of Utah, there's Knoxville exit right there, the Utah exit right there on Interstate 2059. This weakly rotating thunderstorm that's producing damaging winds could end up producing a tornado based off the environment ahead of this thing. So we're going to watch trends with that. Let's get back over to the wide view. And I tell you what, let's go really wide here. And Brandon, I want to kind of talk to you about this. I have not seen much out of Mississippi from this entire event. Have you seen anything coming out of this?
No, not really. I mean, we had that, the line moved through Mississippi, and we didn't have
Look at
very
that.
many warnings. But, you know, once it came into Alabama, we had that one storm that kind of went through Lamar and Marion counties, and it had spun up, and then it spun down. It's more producing straight line winds now, and then we have this storm kind of by itself in Sumter and Greene County. That's always a warning sign to us that we kind of need to watch it since it's in an environment by itself. We just got a new discussion from the Storms Prediction Center, and basically what they're saying is that additional counties might need to be added to that tornado watch, so further east of Birmingham, but the isolated tornado threat and severe gust threat persists. So they're still saying the threat's still there, and it's going to persist through the evening, and that some more counties might be added to that tornado watch a little later.
Yeah, so again, and the reason for this, anything that develops out ahead of the main line, this is your main line of thunderstorms right here. And again, just so interesting to see there are no reports at all back in Mississippi. Understand this is where that big enhanced risk was and stretches into North Alabama. So far, the only reports have come from West Alabama. Where you see that wind damage report, most likely that was all tornado. So again, we have at least one brief tornado touchdown. That storm is now moving across Smith Lake in north central Alabama. Got one supercell thunderstorm out here by itself that has a severe thunderstorm warning. Not a tornado warning, but a storm bears watching. So let's go back into that storm, and if things look okay, we'll send it back over to the program here in just a moment. It's now 7:31. I don't want to stay on here too long if we don't have a tornado warning. Our policy, we do cut-ins top and bottom of the hour. If we have a tornado watch, we get a warning, we stay on. But again, there's Geiger. That is the Tombigbee River, West Green, the Snotty community there in northeast Greene County. Cochran's right here. And again, this is all south of Cochran. Damaging wind potential. Let's look at the velocity. And again, so far this thing's behaving. It's staying just below that criteria the Weather Service likes to look at whenever they go ahead and issue that tornado warning. So far staying below that criteria. But again, just east of Geiger, damaging wind potential is about to cross the Tombigbee. A lot of camp houses out here north of Gainesville, basically from the Sipsey River interchange, the confluence of Sipsey River into the Tombigbee. That's where you have strong wind, maybe some broad rotation, but it's just not strong enough for a tornado warning as of right now. Let me go back off towards the north. Let's look at this stuff to the north before we send it back to program. Just don't want to send it back to program and then have to jump right back on air. Hang on, got a new update. Let's look at this. Okay, so far so good. Let's go off towards the north. And what we're doing is essentially a radar analysis, just making sure we don't see anything before we send it back over to program that sticks out. And let's see. There's your strong wind potential. Brandon, I don't see anything that's coming across Smith Lake. There's Smith Lake. You see the outline of Smith Lake right there. The Smith Lake dams. It's right there on the Coleman and Walker County line. That's well north of Cordova, just northeast of Sunlight. And again, we don't see any sign of rotation with that. So let's go back to home view quickly and show everybody out there. Then we'll take a break. Let's take Birmingham.
I'll say while you're getting that ready, I do have a new damage picture from Winfield if you want to take that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take that if we can.
We can go to the weather op-ed. This is from Allison Spann. She's in downtown Winfield, and I believe I'm not quite sure which building that is, but
Oh, wow.
I saw some previous reports, no injuries as of right now. But that's the roof is off one of those buildings, and there was people inside of that building. So
you said no reports of injuries?
No reports of injuries at this time that we know of. But that's one of the buildings in Winfield that had its roof taken off.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt they've had something happen there, and that looks like tornado damage. Everything leads to this being a tornado that went through Winfield. Again, we can't confirm that. The Weather Service will do that coming up tomorrow. Let's go back over to the maps, and here's your watch warning map right there. And
Richard,
go ahead, Jennifer.
I just want to state that the National Weather Service is recommending, even with these severe thunderstorms, that you are going to an interior room on the lowest floor of your house because of the high winds and the damage that they are able to do to your home.
Yeah, so again, yeah, if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, let's treat it serious with the potential for a tornado or even damaging straight line winds could bring down trees and power lines. There's some strong winds aloft here, and that could easily get transferred down to the surface. So let me show you Sumter County. This is where we have one damaging wind type of storm. This is a supercell, but it's not a strong enough rotation for the Weather Service to issue a tornado warning. West Greene, Clinton, Snotty there. We got eventually in Tuscaloosa County or northern Hale County, you'll begin to deal with that. But again, it's not strongly rotating. It's more of a strong straight line wind potential out of that storm. Quickly, we'll go off towards the north and show you that other storm they're carefully monitoring that's across Walker County. That is producing some strong damaging wind potential. Let me put on the warnings and show you that. And again, there's your severe thunderstorm warning. Still got a severe thunderstorm warning for northeast Fayette County. That will be allowed to expire shortly, and I think it just did. Okay, so Fayette County Weather Service just letting that severe thunderstorm warning go. So what we'll do is we'll take a break and we'll come back here at 8 o'clock for a live severe weather update. If we have a tornado warning, we'll be right here. Otherwise, we will let you go and see you coming up in about 25 minutes. And a good Wednesday evening to Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott here. Continue to watch this severe weather threat overnight tonight. Had at least one tornado touch down across the Winfield area. Quite a bit of structural damage. We'll show you some images from southern Marion County here in just a moment. But we do have our full team in tonight. Also, we got Jennifer Herbert, also Brandon Richards hanging out with us in the studio. So we're going to continue to bring this information to you all night as we deal with this threat for severe weather. Let's go back over to the radar. I want to show you what we got going on right now. First off, a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings, one for Coleman County and one for Greene County. And I think the one for Greene County was just allowed to expire. But let's take you into these storms and show you what is happening. First off, start you off in the southwest portions of our coverage area. This is the southwest Tuscaloosa. We got an active thunderstorm ongoing. There's go ahead, Brandon.
DMX is saying tornado warning coming for Walker County.
Okay.
Till 8:30.
So we are on air, and we are going to stay on air. Are we on Facebook Live, Catherine? Okay. All right. So we are also on Facebook Live. So we got a tornado warning about to be issued. There it is right there for Walker County. Potential tornado just to the southeast of the city of Jasper. So we need you in shelter now. Tornadic thunderstorm now to the east of Jasper. Let's take you into this thunderstorm and show you where it is. And yeah, there's that little notch there on the north side of Cordova. We've got Summerton there. We've got a camera that's at Summerton. We're going to watch that very carefully here in the next few minutes. The Summerton cam faces southeast, so we can't back it around to see to the west. But again, we do have a potential tornado now. So let's look at the velocity signature. All right, there it is. That's Lynn's Park right there. Sipsey, Empire, Drummond. Okay, Summerton's right there. So a potential tornado that has crossed Interstate 22 in Walker County. It has crossed the Mount Hope area. It is now to the northeast of Cordova. We need you in shelter right now. There's Dora, Summerton, Drummond. If you're north of Dora, especially north of Summerton, shelter now for a potential tornado that could be there. Let's look at the debris signature. Just want to see if you see anything there. And again, very noisy, can't really see much. We'll put on the reflectivity. Let's try Birmingham first. And no doubt we got us an inflow notch and a potential tornado there. Again, this tornado is moving generally off towards the east at 45 miles per hour over Lynn's Park right now. So again, it is now moving off towards the east quickly. There's Highway 5 in northeast Walker County. You got Empire, Drummond. You're in the path of this potential tornado. And let me zoom out just a bit. I want to show a wider view and who is in the path of this potential tornado. And I call it potential tornado because it's not confirmed, but that could change. And based off of the fish hook feature, the velocity signature, this thing could drop a tornado. This is, I believe, Brandon, is this the same storm that produced the Winfield tornado?
No, this is going to be south of that. That main storm is in Coleman County.
Yeah, that was the parent storm that produced the Winfield tornado. All right, so yeah, so this is a new circulation to the south of that. So there's Coleman, Garden City right there. That's where that old storm is that produced the original Winfield tornado. This is a new circulation that is now to the east of Jasper that has that potential to produce a tornado. And again, the reason to say potential is because it's not confirmed. We don't have a confirmation of a tornado down. We just think there's a possibility. It could be one. Weather Service office in Birmingham going ahead and issuing that tornado warning. Let's track it off towards the east. Again, this is moving east at 45 miles per hour. There you go right there. These are computer estimate times of arrival. Now, understand this is going to be outside the tornado warning within 20 minutes, but it could continue. If it does, here's who's impacted. Empire, 811, shelter now. We need you in shelter if you're in Empire. Sloan area, 816. Warrior, which is in North Jefferson County. That is at 826. Hayden, which is in western Blount County. That's at 831. Palmerdale, Little Warrior, Aniana, so forth. Again, if this circulation continues, that's where it's heading. That's where we need you in shelter now. So again, in the short term, Empire, shelter now. Even if you're in Summerton, we want you in shelter now, as the potential is of a tornado down with that. Let's put back on the velocity display and just look at this thing together. And no doubt there's a couple there. And I'll tell you what, let me swap radar sites. And let's look at this thing out of Columbus. There's the parent rotation, by the way. Brandon and Jennifer, you guys can see that. What's left of that kind of weak area rotation, that was part of the original Winfield tornado. That's it right there, but again, that's not tornadic.
And BMX has went ahead and issued a severe thunderstorm warning for the whole county, for Blount County. So they're warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds for the whole county with that segment.
Yeah, so for the Boeing segment, they're going ahead and saying we got damaging winds coming. So let's go ahead and treat it again like if it were a tornado warning, based off the fact we've got strong damaging wind potential. Let's put on the watch warning map and show you where the warnings are. There's your tornado warning right there for, again, the very eastern part of Walker County. We're going to check that Summerton camera. In fact, let me go over to that camera right now. This is it from Summerton. And unfortunately, we can't back the camera off. See the lightning illuminating everything. The storm is behind us now. But as this tornadic storm passes Summerton, we're going to watch that camera very carefully as it could move right over this spot. So again, you see the lightning display illuminating off the clouds, illuminating off the ground. This is over in Summerton, southeast Walker County. The potential tornado is not far away at all. So we need you in shelter. Here's your watch warning map. Again, you got a tornado watch in effect for a fair chunk of West Alabama, fair chunk of Northeast Alabama. This is going to be kind of weird tornado watch because of the fact that we're looking at two different areas we're watching. The first is for that line of thunderstorms, has these kinks in it that are producing these spin-up tornadoes. One of those now east of Jasper, not far from Summerton, on the north side of Interstate 22. Severe thunderstorm warning for Coleman County and all of Blount County, and that is for a damaging wind risk for you. All right, so let's go back over to radar. Let me turn on. I'll tell you what, let's do a quick tour because I know a lot of folks are watching us through Facebook Live, looking at other parts of Alabama. Here's everybody. So much of central Alabama, no problems at all, south of Birmingham. North of there, we got this the initial line of thunderstorms with these areas of kinks and bows and areas of rotation of strong straight line winds that is moving off towards the east, scraping our northern counties. And then we got this other thunderstorm down here in Greene County. This thing has really significantly weakened. over the past 20 to 25 minutes, but that's coming into southwest Tuscaloosa County. There's Utah. That's the Knoxville exit, Snoddy, Ralph, Foster's, Romulus, downtown Tuscaloosa right there. So again, this storm is moving generally off towards that northeast direction, but right now we don't see any evidence of major rotation with that. While we do that, let's look at the velocity just to make sure we don't have anything trying to sneak up on us here. And yeah, so far so good. I don't see a lot from Birmingham. Let's swap over to Columbus and look at that. And yeah, weak area rotation in there, but nothing classified as significant right now. Let's go back up to our tornado warning storm that's in Walker County. And while we do that, Catherine, I know we got some damaged pictures coming out of the Winfield area. Brandon's got some of those, and we're going to take that here in just a moment. But I do want to focus on this ongoing dangerous weather. Again, we've got a potential tornado coming up on Empire now. I will say this, off of Birmingham's radar, this thing does not look as impressive. Here's Columbus radar, and again, some rotation there to the east of Empire. This is south of the Smith Lake Dam. That's the Smith Lake Dam right there. Again, this is to the south of Wilburn. There's Empire. A possible tornado could be there. But if you're in Sloan, I would stay in shelter. Empire, stay in shelter. Dora, Robbins Crossroads, Summerton, let's stay in shelter for a few more minutes. And
I will say, north of that circulation towards Sipsey, you know, where Coleman and Walker Blount County all come together, you could see some quarter-sized hail. I mean, the radar's starting to show some of that. So if you're not, you know, you have the rotation to the south, and then you have the hail to the north that you could have.
Yeah, and again, this is what you're looking at. Yeah, no doubt. Look at the hail core there, Brandon. Just northeast or northwest of Empire in northeast Walker County. This could have crossed. It looks like the very southern tip of Coleman County. Most likely that's why National Weather Service office in Huntsville issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Coleman County. Keep in mind all of Blount County in a severe thunderstorm warning. Weather Service not mentioning, I don't believe, if they're going to continue that tornado warning or not. That's until 8:30. So for another 20 more minutes, tornado warning for Coleman County, or for Walker County, does continue there. So for Empire, we still need you in shelter right now. We've got. Let me go over back to the Summerton camera. Just want to watch this very carefully. And look at the lightning. Tremendous storm behind us here in Summerton. You can't really see any structure because the camera is pointed southeast away from the storm. We can't kick this thing around, don't have control of that. But again, a dangerous thunderstorm just to the backside behind me that could be producing a tornado. Sure would be nice to be able to pan this camera around, but unfortunately we don't have the capability to do that, stationary camera. So that's Highway 78 down there. That's the city of Summerton. Looks like the rain is beginning to fall there. Down there at the bottom of your screen, that's the parking lot, the flagpole, the 3 flagpoles entrance to Bevel State Community College. I see some of the parking lots down there. And no doubt the rain is beginning to fall quite heavily at that camera site. Brandon, you've got some pictures. If you let me know if you got those up. And go ahead, Brandon.
Got those ready? So this happened about an hour ago. This is from, most of these pictures are going to be from Winfield. And so this picture, it shows the tornado being illuminated by the power flashes. So we were able to see it by this picture, and then some of the damage from downtown starting to come in. This is one of those businesses in downtown. The roof was sheared off on this picture, and most of it, you know, you're looking through most of downtown there, and that roof is in the road. As we continue to look, I believe, I'm not quite sure which building that is, but it looks like we have some more structural damage there. Power still seems to be on there in downtown, though. And just kind of scrolling through here, again, some more structural damage. The good thing is we're getting reports from the Marion County EMA of no injuries as of this point. And so even though you're seeing all these damage pictures, you know, we're lucky that we haven't had any injuries. So that's what's happening right now. That same segment of the line has moved into Blount County, and it's still producing 60-mile-per-hour winds. So, you know, Blount County, just remember that it's already caused damage, and damaging winds, you know, straight-line winds can do the same damage as a tornado.
Yeah, and also, Brandon, I believe we got an extension of the tornado watch. National Weather Service office in Birmingham mentioning some counties that are going to extend that. Jennifer Herbert, we've also got here in the studio with us. And Jennifer, if you want to pass those around, what counties they just added?
They have added Cherokee, Etowah, Fayette, Greene, Hale, Lamar, Pickens, Sumter, Tuscaloosa, and Walker, and this will last until 10 p.m. this evening.
Okay, so they're going to, Jennifer, they're going to continue that tornado watch till 10 o'clock, so not going to extend that any longer for now. That may be a trend that does change a little bit later on. So again, here's this brand new tornado watch in effect until 10 o'clock that includes, again, much of central Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Bibb County, Shelby, Jefferson, as Jennifer mentioned, Talladega, St. Clair County, and
Richard,
Calhoun. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I missed a few of the counties. They've also extended a tornado watch for Bibb, Calhoun, Jefferson, Shelby, St. Clair, and Talladega counties.
All right, so yeah, they added a pretty good chunk of central Alabama, Jennifer, there. So we are still in the threat here, but I will say this is interesting that there's no counties back in Mississippi under a watch. And again, that's the weather that's coming our way. We'll have to see if this threat can end earlier than expected, but we're not out of the woods yet. Looking at model data kind of behind the scenes here, it looks like we still got a little ways to go. Summerton camera, looks like some flashing lights, some police officials down there. Not sure what they've got going on here, but again, there's a tornadic storm not far from that camera site. And guys, if you hear anything coming out of there, let me know. But certainly see at least police or fire and rescue down there. That's U.S. Highway 78 down at the bottom of your screen. And we're watching this camera site. Again, we've got a possible tornado not far away from the site. It looks like they still got power down there. But looks like you can see the winds are really starting to whip at that camera location. That information right there, that is hasn't been updated yet. But we are looking at some strong damaging wind potential and possibly a tornado at that camera site. So we will keep a close eye on that. Hey, I do want to mention the risk is ending over northwest Alabama. Brandon?
I was just wanting to let you know that John DeBlock at the National Weather Service in Birmingham is just wanting to point out that the damaging winds going through Blount County, he just wants to draw some particular attention to Blount County that some of those damaging winds, could be 60, 70 mile per hour, and it's starting to bow out. Usually what that means is we're having a little bit more wind moving straight forward. So that straight line wind could reach 60, 70 mile per hour in Blount County. He just wanted to kind of tell everybody that that's moving through there.
All right, so again, we got a potential for some strong damaging winds in Blount County. And again, just checking some information here behind the scenes, so bear with me just for a moment. Possible tornado, again, in northeast Walker County. Weather Service has not mentioned whether they will extend that or not. And again, here's what's happening. So your risk is going to come to an end over northwest Alabama. It's already happened. Between now and 6 a.m., we still have this narrow window, or I say narrow, this very large window of opportunity for central Alabama. So all night, we'll continue to watch these storms. I don't think it's going to be a deal where we have tornadoes nonstop all night. There may be fairly large lull periods where not much is happening. But right now, through 6 a.m., we will maintain at least that alert status for the possibility of severe weather. And that's ongoing now. We got several thunderstorms across central Alabama. This line feature here that continues to move off towards the east direction. We got a severe thunderstorm warning for Blount County, and that is for that possibility of some damaging straight line wind potential out of this that includes all of Blount County. And I'll say this, if you're anywhere in Blount County, let's treat this thing serious. As Brandon mentioned, Weather Service Office in Birmingham certainly concerned about this bow feature. It looks like a bow, and out on the very apex of that bow, you can often have some very strong winds. So if you're in Hortons Mill, Royal, Sneed, up and down 75, let's treat this like if it were a tornado. That's going to bring down some trees and power lines. It could cause some problems. The threat to life and property as well as this storm does move off towards the east. The tornado warning for Walker County set to expire in about 12 minutes.
National Weather Service is going to replace that with a severe thunderstorm warning for northern Jefferson until 8:45. 60 mile per hour winds and quarter-sized hail is possible with that.
Okay, so again, they're going to allow the tornado warning to expire. And again, I'm just checking something here. I've got a lot of folks behind the scenes that we check on with reports. We've got some folks up there in Walker County. We're also monitoring for updates. I do want to mention that Jennifer Herbert, also here in the studio with us, she is updating our social media and posting these warnings. I do want to also remind you that we are streaming on the WVUA 23 Facebook page, so we're on there as well, and I just shared that onto my weather page, the WVUA 23 weather page as well. So if you lose power and you're up here in these storms, you're not going to be left in the dark. You'll know at least what's happening as these storms move on through. So again, the possibility of damaging straight line winds is now more prevalent with the storm. Let's zoom out and show you wide view now that this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire. And I'll say this, you know, Brandon, the storms are just really looking more messy across Alabama. I don't know if you've noticed that, but it just seems like the trends are more disorganized.
Yeah, you know, earlier they had a lot of lightning with them.
Yeah.
They were more organized when they were coming through West Alabama. As they've moved east, they've moved into a little bit more stable air out of that, you know, that more instability that's in the western side of the state. And so as it's moved east, they've, you know, kind of calmed down a little bit. As you see, we can still get tornado warnings, though, even as they're moving east. But even the storm that's going through southern Tuscaloosa County now, that lightning output has kind of decreased a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like this whole thing's just getting a little more ragged. Doesn't mean we can't have a tornado. We still have a tornado watch until 10 o'clock tonight. I do see they have canceled the tornado warning formally for Walker County, so that is no longer a tornado warning for you. We do have that storm down here in South Tuscaloosa County. Let's look at this thing. Just to make sure we don't have anything trying to surprise us here. You know, this storm, it's so interesting. It's been rotating for goodness since it was near Jackson, Mississippi. This thing has been rotating for a long time, and it has moved into West Alabama, and it has really lost the rotational characteristics. Doesn't mean there's not a possibility this thing could produce a tornado down the road, but right now with a look like that, this is our wind or velocity. There is nothing that sticks out down here in Foster's, Moundville, back towards Havana. Looks like this is more just some gusty wind potential and some heavy rainfall, and also a bit of lightning as well. Let's put on the lightning display. I'm just interested to see what we got here, and again, not a whole lot, but there are some strikes of lightning in northeast Greene County, also northern Hale County, southern Tuscaloosa County. Let me zoom out just a bit. And let's just look at this lightning output of these storms. So this kind of gives us a good judge of how strong storms are. And yeah, there's just not much at all. There's that one little core in northeast Blount County with a tremendous amount of lightning, but there's not much back here. There are some storms back in East Mississippi need to watch to the northwest of Meridian. These are not tornadic, but they are producing some lightning. So those certainly bear watching. Let's put on the warning map and show you what we got. Again, we got one severe thunderstorm warning for northern Jefferson County and all of Blount County, a potential for damaging straight line winds. That's what we're dealing with there. Tornado watch continues all the counties in yellow. That is until 10 p.m. for central Alabama. So Lamar County, Pickens, Sumter, everybody to the east of that, north of Demopolis, you're under tornado watch until 10 o'clock tonight. That may be extended. It just depends on how this whole thing shakes out tonight. We've been looking at model data behind the scenes, and this thing could easily decrease just a bit. I do want to show you this, and this is something interesting. Brandon, this is our dew points, and we had talked about this. Our dew points have come up significantly over the past couple of hours. Earlier today, we had an interesting phenomenon where dry air mixed down to the surface temporarily. We heated up to about 81, but that is interesting.
Yeah, it's come up just in the last, the last hour?
Yeah.
It was in the low 60s, now we're in the upper 60s. That's just that instability moving north. So we still have, you know, the fuel for the thunderstorms out there for sure, and that wind shear.
Yeah, that's the primary driving force. You got wind shear, you got some uplift coming in, and instability, and those are often what we look at for severe weather. And we're looking at the winds here, Brandon, and if you notice, the winds are still generally out of the south. This air, this tropical air, is coming all the way from the Caribbean, crossing the Caribbean into the Gulf of Mexico, into Alabama, high pressure east of the Bahamas, and that's what's driving that moisture deep into central Alabama. Here's a look at the radar. I tell you what, let me step off screen just for a minute so you can see this. And we've got storms back in Mississippi. These things are not really looking that suspicious in terms of tornado formation. Looks like this is more some stronger storms, maybe hail potential there, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of a tornado look to the storms back to our west. This is our Futurecast model. This is HRRR, and just give you an idea how things could shake out tonight. Here's 11 o'clock. Notice, so we got thunderstorms ongoing. Whether these are tornadic or not, it's yet to be seen. I think what's happening is the best wind shear is beginning to pull away. So as winds turn more southwest of the surface, while these thunderstorms may look mean, there may not be much of a tornado risk with that. But again, it only takes one. We've said that oftentimes. How many tornadoes does it take to be a threat to life and property, to threaten your life and your property? It just takes one, and it doesn't take 10 or 20 tornadoes. It just takes one. So if any of these storms produce a tornado, that's why we're here to let you know about and where those are heading. And here's tomorrow morning. This is 7 o'clock, and we still got some rain and thunderstorms ongoing. I don't think there's a big severe weather risk with those. I think this is going to be more general showers and thunderstorms. So weather online, Facebook and Twitter. Do want to remind you that we are also streaming on our website. That's WVUA23.com. Click the Watch Now option. Facebook Live, again, the WVUA23 Facebook page. We are on there as well. And often, when we go under tornado warning, we talk about where to go. And I just want to give you an idea. This is what we talk about. Always that interior room of your home. This is kind of a makeshift view of a house here. Garage, bad idea. Outer rooms, bad idea. Hallway, closet, bathroom. Best bet, basement if you got one of those, or storm shelter. A mobile home, never a safe place during a tornado. Doesn't matter if it's an EF0, EF1. Mobile homes can be very dangerous when it comes to tornadoes, so we often tell people get out of that. Seek shelter at a site-built structure or storm shelter. There are a lot of community storm shelters out there that are open tonight, and we want people to take advantage of that if you do have a threatening storm in your area. Brandon, you've got pictures. I do want to kind of recap that because we're coming up on 8:30 now, and I just want to go over what has happened so far tonight now that the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, this is a new picture that just came in the last 10 or 15 minutes or so. This is the Bama Off-Road Restaurant. This sits right in downtown Winfield, so that gives you kind of a point of reference on where we're talking about the damage in Winfield. So, I mean, that's some pretty significant damage, Richard. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that looks like fairly substantial tornado damage that went right through downtown Winfield, and you see some of the trees there ripped apart. And, we were watching this thing for a while, and there's no doubt we knew this thing could be bad, and unfortunately we have quite a bit of damage, it looks like, right in the middle of town.
Yeah, that's the Cardinal Restaurant right there in Winfield as well. So most of this runs right through the center of town. So this tornado likely went right through the heart of Winfield.
And again, some of the pictures shown there, that looks like, fairly a stronger tornado type of damage. I mean, we're not talking about EF3 or 4, but I mean, this is a fairly significant tornado.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure that out tomorrow when the light of day comes and the National Weather Service can go do the tornado surveys. But just from the damage that I've seen, the structural damage, and just kind of scrolling through these pictures that we've been getting in, this wasn't just a regular week-old tornado. To do that kind of damage right there, that takes some power. Yeah,
and you mentioned, Brandon, there was no reports of injury or loss of life,
right.
Which is absolutely fantastic news. Look, I'm telling you, I know it's hard to go through tornado damage. I've been there too. I lost my home in the April 27, 2011 tornado, lost everything that day. And, it's hard going through that when you lose things you work hard for. But I'm telling you, there's brighter days ahead. We can go through the rebuilding process and everything's good. The most important thing is that you're okay. And that's why we're here, to provide that information for you and try to at least give you as much warning as possible as storms come through. Let's go over to our Summerton camera. I want to show you that. And again, this severe storm's kind of blown through Summerton now. Looks like power is still on in downtown Summerton. This is Highway 78. That's downtown right there. And the temperature's dropped now to 66. You are in stable air in Summerton, in that part of Walker County. Bryant-Denny and Tuscaloosa, again, we got some light rain falling, still 75, but the wind has shifted directions now. The wind's out southwest, and that's important. Whenever you come to tornado formation, winds need to be due south or southeast. That's your classic tornado formation setup. Now, not saying that's it, it's over, but I'm just telling you, winds out of the southwest, at least that is a helpful thing. That will help to at least reduce, I think, the tornado potential just a bit tonight. So again, tornado watch still continues. There is that possibility for a few isolated tornadoes overnight. Had one in Winfield. We know that now. We've had some scattered damage up here. And I tell you what, let's go back over to our watch warning map. And before we do that, I want to look at the storm report so far.
While you're pulling that up, I just wanted to pass along that we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for St. Clair and Etowah.
Okay.
That's going to run until 9:30. And if you're traveling up 59 northeast of Gadsden going toward the Fort Payne area, I just want to let you know that there is a tornado on the ground in DeKalb County near Rainsville. So that's just coming from the National Weather Service in Huntsville. So if you know of anybody up there near Fort Payne or north of Fort Payne on 59, just kind of let them know that there's a tornado on the ground. They need to take shelter.
Oh, wow, that's over in North Alabama, Northeast Alabama. Let's go over to that storm and show you which one he's talking about. I think that's just going to be behind our banner there. But potential tornado or a confirmed tornado with that. That is, you said, Brandon, approaching Fort Payne?
It's going to be north of Fort Payne. The city is Rainsville.
Oh, there it is. Look at that, right there. Little tornadoes touched down. I say little, it's a small debris signature. Now, this is outside of our coverage area. This is near just west of Fort Payne. The Huntsville TV market will cover that, but I just want to look at that for interesting purposes of what this storm looks like and what it's producing. Yeah, there's Rainsville, Sylvania there. That's Highway 35 northwest of Fort Payne. I've been up there many times going to Gatlinburg if you've driven through that area. Very mountainous part of Alabama. But no doubt there's a tornado right there, and that thing is down and doing damage. It looks like the debris signature we had in Winfield just earlier this evening, but again, that's just north of Rainsville now. Yeah, look at the couple with that. No doubt that's a tornado down. Again, that's outside of our coverage area, but so let's go back into our neck of the woods in central Alabama and show everybody out there, because folks watching us on Facebook Live and through television, let's just give you an update. First off, we got this one thunderstorm that's south of Tuscaloosa near Moundville, just north of Havana. We've been watching for a while now, but so far the rotation's been very weak and minor. More storms up here to the north. Got severe thunderstorm warning again for Etowah County now, Blount County up here for that Boeing segment. That thing means business. That could produce some widespread tree and power line damage from straight line winds. That could do tornado-like damage. Down to the south, we got this other thunderstorm south of Tuscaloosa. I won't take you into that thing. This is not a tornadic thunderstorm, but it's a storm that we've been watching for a while, as I mentioned there. And this thing is just north of Havana. A little bit of a notch there, Brandon, coming up on the Powers area. There's the Havana Junction. Moundville, you got 60 and 69 that split off down here at the store at Havana. So again, let's watch this thing carefully. Look at the velocity.
Broad rotation. It's got broad rotation.
Yeah, so again, if you're Moundville, I know this area was hard hit back in March of a tornado. Let's just watch this carefully. There's no strong sign of a tornado right now, but it's something that could change quickly based off at least we have a somewhat conducive environment for a tornado. Again, this is going to be near or south of Moundville. There's not a tornado warning right now, but it's a storm that we need to carefully monitor. Just checking the Weather Service office in Birmingham, they're not mentioning anything on that. Let's go back over to our reflectivity out of Birmingham. And yeah, this thing, there's no doubt it's got a little bit of an inflow notch there. So again, there's the junction Havana. There's downtown Moundville that crosses over into Tuscaloosa County line. They just posted a tornado warning. All right, so we've got a tornado warning there for southern Tuscaloosa County and northern Hale County. You got a tornado warning, potential tornadoes between Moundville and Havana Junction. And I tell you what, let's zoom out just a bit and show you who all's in this tornado warning polygon. There it is. So again, got a potential tornado developing just on the north side of the Havana Junction, really between the junction and downtown Moundville. Moundville, you're under the tornado warning polygon. Havana Junction, you're under the tornado warning polygon. Getting shelter now as a possible tornado is coming through your area. And I tell you what, Brandon, if you want to bring that information from the National Weather Service on that storm.
Yeah, so the tornado warning for south central Tuscaloosa County, Hale County, and Bibb County until 9:15. At 8:32, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Moundville or 17 miles south of the city of Tuscaloosa, moving east at 45 miles per hour. I will say in the last 15 minutes, the lightning output has actually increased in the thunderstorm. And something that we look at, something called echo tops, how high the thunderstorm is exceeding 45,000 feet now. So this thunderstorm has strengthened, and the rotation has also strengthened with this storm. That rotation is along 69, Highway 69, just south of Moundville or near Moundville. That's going to move east toward the Duncanville area. It might stay just a little south of Duncanville, but you are in the tornado warning polygon, so I'd go ahead and go to your safe place. And then this is going to move over toward Elon and Centerville and Brent later on.
All right, so again, we continue to monitor this situation. We've got a tornado warning in effect for, again, southern portions of Tuscaloosa County, northern Hale County. If you are at the Havana Junction or Moundville, we need you in shelter now, as there's a possible tornado there. That's going to track essentially between the Duncanville area, eventually approaching Brent and Centerville. Obviously, this area hard hit back on the two outbreaks we had in March, two tornado outbreaks had there. Doesn't mean this is going to be a big violent tornado, but again, there could be a tornado there that's tracking off towards the east. And Brandon, remind me the speed on that tornado warning.
45.
And is that due east?
It is moving due east.
Okay, so 45 due east. Possible tornado, so it's possible. It's a radar indicator, it's not confirmed. That is tracking off towards the east. So let's do a path on this thing. And again, very close to the junction, Havana and Moundville, moving off towards east at 45 miles per hour. There are your times of arrival. So if you are in these communities you see here on your screen, this is what time the possible tornado is going to be in your area. So Phipps community, that is 8:43. Pondville, and that is 8:57. All right. Ingate, that's 9:04. Eventually, Brent and Centerville will deal with this possible tornado shortly after 9 o'clock. So again, we have a possibility for a tornado that could be there in northern portions of Hale County, southern portions of Tuscaloosa County. Looks like the main threat is going to be near or just south of Moundville.
Look at the reflectivity. It's starting to wrap up even more.
Okay, let me clear this off and show you that. New tornado warning, what is that, Brandon?
Continue the tornado warning for Bibb, Hale, and Tuscaloosa until 9:15.
Okay, this is still a radar indicated tornado moving east at 45 miles per hour. There's the Powers area. You got Moundville there, that's Highway 69. And it looks like this tornado is going to cross Highway 69, maybe I'd say 2 or 3 miles north of the junction where the store is down there at Havana. Again, there's Havana. That's Highway 69 at the bottom of your screen. That's Highway 60, that interchange. And then you go up north to Moundville. Maybe some hail falling in downtown Moundville now. But no doubt this storm has wrapped up quickly.
Speaking of hail, they're calling for up to golf ball size with this.
So golf ball size hail most likely falling in downtown Moundville. So again, if you are in Moundville or point south to the junction, shelter now. We got a possible tornado moving in. There's your rotation. And again, I'll say this, the rotation is not extremely impressive, but it is impressive enough to where we are concerned about that. And let me zoom out just a bit. We're looking at our velocity out of Birmingham. Let me see if I can change over to Columbus. And let's just watch this thing together. And yeah, you see that spin right there. Gosh, it looks like it's almost on top of downtown Moundville right now. So again, if you are in Moundville, shelter now. You got to be in shelter, out of a mobile home, site-built structure, somewhere to protect your life from flying debris and the possibility for tornado. This thing's going to be well south of downtown Tuscaloosa. Again, this is the southern end of Tuscaloosa County, but if you're in Duncanville, down 82 to Brent or Centerville, we need you in a shelter now, as there could be a tornado down with that. But so far, I have not seen any reports. Brandon, have you seen anything out of that storm?
I'm looking at the National Weather Service chat. It's been pretty quiet over the last 10 or 15 minutes. I will say the latest scan out of Birmingham, the rotation is starting to tighten up.
Okay, we're about to get that in just a second.
Yeah, it might take a moment to get that in, but looking at my radar system here, it's tightened up a pretty good bit.
Look at the debris signature. What's that little spot right there, Brandon, just south of Moundville? It's noisy, but again, there's the junction. That may be something there just below downtown Moundville.
Richard, we do have a storm report coming in up near in Blount County. Power lines are blown down on Rock Springs Road in Smoke Rise.
Okay, so the Smoke Rise community.
Yes.
So that's over in Blount County. Jennifer, thank you for that update. So we are getting some damage reports. Just talked to my wife. My kids are in Havana at my in-laws' house. Seems like every time they go down there for bad weather, there's a tornado nearby. So they are okay in the closet in the shelter. So that's good. So they are in a safe place down there.
What we might think is that debris fallout. I don't believe it is.
Yes, it's gone there, Brandon.
But now you see those colors near Moundville, that might be hail.
Yeah, you know, that's a good point. We got some big hail, I think, falling in Moundville. Let's look at our hazard and see if that picks up on our computer. There's our mesocyclone you see there. That's the rotating updraft of this thunderstorm. So, again, that's where the potential tornado is. And there may be a bit of a beware region popping up right there. That's what we call a bounded weak echo region. So, again, that donut hole feature, that may be an indication of enhancement of where there could be a tornado there off of that. Put it on the velocity display, and let's just look at this. Yeah, right there underneath that donut hole we're looking at, there may be a tornado down. This thing is just a hair southeast of Moundville, downtown. If you're on the east side of town, on the Tuscaloosa and Hale County line, that's where that potential tornado is. And again, based off the environment that is at least somewhat conducive for a tornado down, let's treat it as if there were. If you're in Duncanville or Hagler area, let's go ahead and go to shelter now, as we have that possibility for tornado. It's going to be tracking off towards the northeast. There is the Pearson area right there. All right. And then this is going to continue off towards the east. You got Eolan there, Ingate, Brent, Centerville, Vernon Town there. That's over in Bibb County. This is the Tuscaloosa and Bibb County line here. And that's going to move basically across 82. It looks like I got a new update here. All right, our rotation's increasing now, now to the east of Moundville. So again, that's our couplet. That's where we have our potential tornado that could be developing. This thing is now to the northeast of the Havana Junction. It's just east or maybe a hair southeast of downtown Moundville. It's clearly crossed Highway 69, and we're going to find out pretty quick if there is any sort of damage from that. And so far, I have not heard of anything. Okay, also the Weather Service is going to issue a severe thunderstorm warning for Cherokee County. Damaging wind potential there, that's till 9:15 for severe thunderstorm warning. So again, we got a tornado warning in South Tuscaloosa County, northern Hale County. This is going to move into Bibb County pretty soon. Let me take this off and put the watch warning map on. And let's just zoom this thing out just a bit so we can see who all's in this polygon. So again, Duncanville, Pearson's area, Brent, Centerville, you're under the tornado warning that stretches up to West Blockton. Your potential tornado is located about right here in the core of this polygon, now to the east or southeast of Moundville. Again, if you're in Tuscaloosa, you're fine. This tornadic thunderstorm is clearly to your south, but if you are on the Tuscaloosa County and Bibb County line and Hill County line, where that triple point is. That's where this potential tornado is going to be heading, and it's moving there pretty quickly, again at 45 miles per hour. So, again, that's the latest on that. All right, quickly, let me zoom out to wide view, show everybody out there, for anybody across other parts of Alabama dealing with active weather. We've got a tornado watch that is in effect for much of central Alabama, and that goes until 10 o'clock. No word so far if they're going to extend that tornado watch or not. We will carefully monitor that. And I do want to remind you, too, that we are also on Facebook Live, the WVUA 23 Facebook page. We got nonstop information on there as well. So you can, if you lose power, you can't watch us on television, that's where we are, too. So also on our website, WVUA23.com. So tornado warning continues. Go ahead, Brandon.
I know that we're working about the tornado warning, but I do have a new picture from Winfield on the weather iPad if you want to take that. And this is just some of the significant damage near the pizza bar in Winfield. And that's a pretty scary picture right there. So this is all coming out of Winfield, again, downtown Winfield, just kind of getting reports. And this is why we tell you not to be in a car. I mean, if the driver was in the driver's seat, what would have happened? And so, that's why we tell you a car is a death trap in a tornado. You cannot be in a car.
Car is a terrible place to be in a tornado. Obviously, all you got is glass to protect you around you. That glass shatters. Guess what? It's going to be a threat to your life. And, objects that are flying around. That's what's so bad about a tornado is what's inside of it. It's the debris inside of it. The wind picks up and just throws its projectiles. And that is just, my goodness, very eerie images coming out of Winfield tonight. And Brandon, Jennifer, we're talking about this thing. We're saying maybe this is a brief, weak tornado, but gosh, some of the damage we've seen from Winfield, I mean, this looks like a fairly powerful tornado.
Right, might indicate that it was a little bit on the stronger side.
Yeah,
and so,
I agree.
We still have that instability and shear tonight, and so, we could have another one. So that's why we're giving the warning tonight, and that's why we still have that tornado warning for Tuscaloosa, Hale, and Bibb County.
Yeah, so let's go back over to that tornado warning and show you what we got. Again, the Yellow County area, that is a tornado watch till 10 o'clock. That may need to be extended since we do obviously have an ongoing warning of threat. So let's go into that thunderstorm that is producing a potential tornado that is across the very southern tip of Tuscaloosa County and also the very northern part of Hale County. So Duncanville, we need you in shelter now. Pearson, we need you in shelter now. Phipps, you as well. That's U.S. Highway 82. Eolin's right there. Brent Centerville, end gate there. Let's put on the velocity. I want to look at this together. And the couple that may have come down just a tad. There's no doubt there's still some rotation there that is right on the county line there. So there's Maxwell, Inglewood, Tuscaloosa, where Shelton State sits there. This is all well south of Shelton State, but if you are on Highway 69 driving south, you still got some pretty rough weather, but clearly the tornado threat is now east of Moundville. This is none cross 69 now. Next go is going to be Highway 82 that runs from Duncanville to Pearson to Eolin to Brent and Centerville. That's where this potential tornado is going to cross in a matter of moments. And looks like, we're about to get another tornado watch. See, Storm Prediction Center leaving a note with us. They're going to most likely extend the tornado watch and the time frame with that. So again, we've got a potential tornado down here that is south of Maxwell. You got Duncanville 82 that's going to be crossing very soon. If you are in Brent and Centerville, this thing's moving at 45 miles an hour, so it's going to be near you very quickly. Let's put on the reflectivity out of Birmingham, just see how this thing looks. Still got that feature, but I will say this, it doesn't look as impressive as it did about 10 minutes ago, Brandon. Have you noticed that? The inflow notch is just not as there.
Right, the structure is not as great as it was. Now, there's still rotation there.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get us wrong. We're not downplaying the situation. We're just saying that it might not be as organized as it did, but the lightning is still on the uptick. So we still have a lot of lightning with this thunderstorm, so it's still a pretty strong storm.
Yeah, so again, the structure of this thing has changed a little bit. It had this wicked hook for a few minutes across 69 between Havana and Moundville. I have not heard of any damage yet. That could change at any time, but our potential tornado, still a warning, let's treat it like there's still one there, is just about out of Hale County now, and it's going to ride the Tuscaloosa County, Bibb County line, and then cross US 82 somewhere near or southeast Duncanville. So again, if you are in southeast Tuscaloosa County, northern Hale County, and also central and west Bibb County, need you in shelter right now.
Richard, we're just getting another storm report from Blount County and Cleveland. The emergency manager just reporting more trees down at the moment.
Okay, and Catherine, remind me that again. Okay, we got the Marion County EMA director on the phone with us, Eric Terrell. What are you seeing up there in Marion County? We're hearing some pretty wicked damage there.
Yes, sir. We've got some pretty significant damage in downtown Winfield. We're still trying to survey the damage and make sure that we actually identified all of it. But right now, most of it's contained to downtown Winfield. We've got a lot of structure damage, a lot of tree damage, and power line damage.
Now, are you seeing any sign of injuries with this? I know the initial reports that so far there were no injuries there.
Yes, sir. Right now we're injury free. We were blessed so far to get out of this thing so far without any injuries. So, as we continue our search efforts, we may uncover some. But right now everything looks clear.
Eric, I appreciate the reports there. If you have any more information there coming out of Marion County, I know we got a team heading up there now to check out some of the damage. So if you will get back with us if you hear anything, hopefully there's no other information coming from there. But you guys stay safe and keep us informed.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I believe we got some damage coming out of the Moundville area as well in northern Hale County. And I tell you what, Chelsea was mentioning something there, and if you can pass that note along to me, what exactly you found in Hale County. I know Russell Whedon, County Road 44. Okay, so Russell Whedon reporting some damage, a lot of trees down on County Road 44 in Hale County. We may have had a tornado touchdown based off some of the information we're getting down there, not far from Moundville. That's on County Road 44. So again, Russell Whedon, the Hale County EMA director there, reporting damage in Hale County. So again, let's treat this thing like there is a tornado there as we are getting information of a damage down there. Again, we spoke with the EMA director in Marion, who in Marion County, and he is over in Winfield now surveying some of the damage. We got some significant damage coming out of Winfield tonight. So we got more damage now coming out of northern Hale County off of County Road 44 of quite a bit of tree damage being reported as well. And I believe also another structure damage there. If you guys want to pass that information along to me, I got a lot of information coming at the same time, so just want to make sure we get everything correct to you. So again, let's treat this thing like there's a tornado down here, as there is a tornado warning in effect for northeast Hale County, southern Tuscaloosa County, much of central and western Bibb County. This is your area rotation where we have a potential tornado. As this thing crossed Highway 69, it wrapped up very quickly, looked impressive to us, and may have dropped a tornado down not far from Moundville. The area rotation is right there below Duncanville and is tracking off towards that east direction, 45 miles per hour. So again, let me zoom you into this thing and show you what we've got. So this potential tornado continues to track off towards the east. There's a Pearson area there. Here is southeast Tuscaloosa County, northwest Bibb County, where this possible tornado is going to be. You got Eoline right there. There's Highway 82. There's Duncanville. And again, this thing's going to cross somewhere very close to Duncanville or Hagler. So if you're in Hagler, Pearson on 82 in southeast Tuscaloosa County, let's go ahead and be in that storm shelter, as there is that potential for a tornado there. Tornado warning continues until 9:15 for Bibb, Hale, and Tuscaloosa counties. in this part of central Alabama. All right, quickly, I want to show you a wide view and everybody out there. Again, we've got significant damage coming out of the Winfield area in southern Marion County. Spoke with the EMA director just a moment ago, and it sounds like the damage is pretty rough there. But we have not had any information of injury or loss of life from that. So again, here's a watch warning map. You got a tornado watch in effect for much of central Alabama. This is most likely going to be extended with time here. So I know the Storm Prediction Center, the National Weather Service, coordinating a new tornado watch. We've got one tornado warning in southeast Tuscaloosa County, northeast Hale County, and much of Bibb County. Let me put on the reflectivity, and I'll tell you what, I'm going to clear this, the watch warning map, and show you what we got. So here we go. We got active thunderstorms ongoing across much of central Alabama. There is one thunderstorm that has really gotten out of hand in the past 30 minutes or so. That's tracked across northern Hale County. It's now at the triple point of Hale, Bibb, and Tuscaloosa County. If you are in downtown Tuscaloosa, there's no problems in downtown Tuscaloosa. This is all well southeast of town. So that's the latest information on that. I'll tell you what, Brandon, anything new coming out of the Weather Service office there?
Nothing with this storm. Again, we're just getting some more reports out of Blount County. Like right here, we have a damage, let's see, 1 mile southwest of Nectar, some trees down. There was also some trees down in northern Jefferson County near Rookwood Caverns. And again, that report that Jennifer passed along earlier of the trees down in Cleveland and Blount County. So it looks like we had some pretty strong winds run through there in Blount County. And we had mentioned that, we had mentioned there was 60, 70 mile per hour winds. So it looks like it verified.
Yeah, and I think it's just very important to know that even though you're not in a tornado warning, if you're in a severe thunderstorm warning, those winds can knock down trees, take down power. Those trees can then go through your roof or take out windows. So if you want to be indoors, for one, and secondly, you want to be away from windows. If you have more than a one-story home, get on the bottom floor of that home if your area is under that warning.
All right, so again, we continue with this dangerous situation for a thunderstorm that could be producing a tornado in southeast Tuscaloosa County. This is going to be moving really close to the Pearson area, south of Duncanville. We are concerned about that. Hagler, we need you in shelter now in 82. Eoline, you need to be in shelter now. Eolin, you need to be in shelter. If you are in Brent or Centerville, we want you in shelter. That's in Bibb County. So again, tornado warning continues down there. Let's go back into that storm. I do want to mention that we have no additional issues across central Alabama currently ongoing. We have one tornadic thunderstorm now. It's a supercell that's kind of gotten out here by itself that's tapping into the instability. And this thing still has that suspicious look, no doubt about it. Your inflow notch here. So again, we've got Hagler there, Pearson, Eolin, Brent, Centerville, Vernon Town, shelter now, the lowest floor of home, many walls between you and the outside as possible. But this is no doubt where your rotation would be.
Hey, Richard.
Go ahead.
There is a flood advisory for Blount, Calhoun, Etowah, Jefferson, and St. Clair counties.
Yeah, and that's something else we need to mention is the potential for some flooding across our area. Some of these storms do train over the same spot. So, Jennifer, appreciate you bringing that information. We haven't really talked much about flooding, and some of these storms could potentially produce flooding issues in our area. The rotation, Brandon, the rotation's not that impressive right now below Duncanville. But this thing has done damage. On County Road 44, it runs right down here below Moundville. It has done damage. We think maybe tornado damage, but we'll have to see tomorrow, indeed, if that was a tornado or not. But, yeah, the rotation's broadened out, Brandon.
Yeah, I was just, I've been looking at that, and the last trends of the radar, we've been looking at it. We did get that damage from Hale County, so, of course, this is still a serious storm. But, it's broadened out. It might be going through a cycle. It might be going where, in a few minutes, it might get tighter again. It's in an environment where the instability is greater down south of I-20 and south of the Birmingham and Tuscaloosa area. The wind shear is lifting away, but at the same time, it's still there. And so there's still a tornado warning until 9:15, so we're going to respect that. And so that rotation could always come back up on the uptick, and with that damage report, we can't take this lightly.
Yeah, the Eddy storm tonight could potentially produce a tornado. Again, the environment is at least somewhat not as conducive as it was a little earlier, but it doesn't matter. There can still be a storm or two tap into that instability and the lingering wind shear, and we could continue to deal with that. So that's the latest situation on that. I do want to check in. Catherine, are we on Facebook Live? I do want to mention that. I know some people are asking. Okay, so we are on Facebook Live, so I do want to mention that. So if you can't watch us on TV, if you lose power in your area, you can always join us through social media on Facebook Live. And if you see something in your area, if you'll leave a comment and let us know, we'll try to get to that and find out what's happened down there where you are. But again, what we're looking at is the velocity. This is the wind inside of this storm. And there's no doubt there's an area rotation there, but it's not as impressive as it was just a few minutes ago. Let's look at the debris signature. And again, I don't see anything screaming evidence of debris there. Put back on the reflectivity. And again, still that possibility there could be a tornado there. And this storm, it may be going through a cycle, as Brandon mentioned. This thing could easily wrap up very quickly and produce a tornado. It may have already done that, not far from Moundville. We'll continue to update you on what's happened down there. We've got crews out now. We've got a crew heading to Winfield to know that. And a crew checking in with Moundville and Havana to make sure everybody's okay down there. But no doubt this storm is rotating still. You got that kidney beam shade to it, and the potential for a tornado is there. And this thing is approaching, again, if you are south of Duncanville, over the Pearson area or Hagler, we need you in shelter now for that possibility there could be a tornado developing out of that. Quickly, I want to show you that watch warning map. Here's what we got. Still that tornado warning in effect. This only tornado warning in our coverage area is for southeast Tuscaloosa County, northeast Hale County, much of central and western Bibb County. The tornado warning essentially goes to Brent and Centerville and points west. If you are in Moundville, if you are in Havana, you're good now. This storm has passed by you. It is moving off towards the east. And I'll tell you what, let me go over to our radar and satellite loop real quick. I know I've got a lot of maps here, but let me go over to that. Here we go. So this is the setup, and I'm just looking back off towards the west. And you see that one supercell storm. This thing started just north of Jackson, Mississippi. Watch it right there. That's that one right there, and just continues to truck along there, and is now moving out of Hale County into Bibb County. Southeast Tuscaloosa. So again, that's the only storm of concern right now. These storms are moving out of our TV market and weakening just a bit. Let's look at the watch warning map. You know what, Brandon? Another thing too, the dew points. Look at that near 70 in our area.
Continue to rise.
Yeah, so dew points rising. That means instability is most likely increasing. So that's something we had talked about, Brandon, is watching the dew points. They dropped a little bit earlier today, and that kind of mitigated the afternoon threat. Now these dew points are higher, so we still got a threat.
Yes. We still have to watch any storms that develop in Mississippi because, obviously the dew points are still elevated, the temperatures are still elevated, so we still have that instability. Marion, Winston, and Coleman counties have been cleared from that tornado watch, but the remainder of our counties are still under that tornado watch until 10 o'clock. They are working to coordinate to extend that. We haven't gotten that in yet. So as long as there's a tornado watch, there's still a threat. And we have to watch those storms coming out of eastern Mississippi really closely.
All right, so yeah, those storms out of East Mississippi could try to regenerate and become at least rotational thunderstorms, but so far that hasn't happened. Hopefully that trend will continue. So let's go back into this storm and show you what we got. First off, we got still a severe thunderstorm warning for Etowah County, far northern Cherokee County, but most of our area dealing with active thunderstorms that are not severe. We got one severe storm that is capable of producing a tornado. It's moving out of Hale County, moving east at 45 miles per hour. Let's take you back into that storm. and show you what we got. Again, if you're in Tuscaloosa, Northport, back towards Reform, nothing in terms of severe weather ongoing there. We do have showers and thunderstorms, but in terms of anything tornadic, I don't see anything there at all. Here is our storm that has the potential to produce a tornado down here to the south. And again, this is where we've got a storm that is rotating now. That is, you see it, Pearson there in Hagler in southeast Tuscaloosa County and far northwest Bibb County. That's US 82 that runs down to Brent and Centerville, down to Trio, down to Maplesville. This is your tornado warning polygon. The red polygon representing where there is the potential for the tornado to track. It is now totally out of Hale County. I know technically still part of Hale County is in the tornado warning. If you are in Duncanville, you're all clear. There's no longer a threat in Duncanville. But again, if you are southeast of town on Highway 82 there, especially near Hagler and Pearson, that's where the potential for tornado is there. Let's go over to our velocity product now. And still got something there over Hagler and Pearson based off the storm structure. Let's treat this thing like if there were still a tornado warning, or still a tornado. And I see a note from the National Weather Service, John DeBlock over there in Birmingham, working with the Storm Prediction Center now to extend that tornado watch. So we'll get that information to you as soon as it comes out. So far that has not happened. Technically the tornado watch expires in 1 hour. That's going to be extended as well. Okay, yeah, new tornado watch is going to be coming out. Let's see, Chilton County and north and east, they're going to extend the tornado watch into central Alabama. So again, still got a tornadic thunderstorm coming out of Tuscaloosa County. Let's do a track on this thing and show you where it is heading. We'll put on the warning display here. And it's moving east at 45 miles per hour. Understand it's going to be out of the tornado warning polygon most likely in about 30 minutes or so. We'll do a path on this thing. Let me zoom out just a bit and show you who's dealing with this. That's the Copper River, by the way, that runs through 6 Mile down towards Centerville. All right, let's do a track on this thing. The possible tornadoes right there near Hagler, moving east at 45 miles per hour. And these are estimated times of arrival. This is computer estimated times of arrival. Doesn't mean it's going to be there at that exact time, but this gives you an idea roughly when it's going to be in your community. So again, Pearson, we need you in shelter now. In-gate at 9:16, Brent at 9:21. If you are in the Oakley area, that's over in Bibb County, we're talking about 9:41. Eventually, Montevallo, Calera, Mineral Springs. Again, that's over in Shelby and Chilton. So again, the tornado watch is going to be extended shortly for Chilton and points east and north. So you're going to see that tornado watch extended past 10 o'clock. Not sure what we're going to do with West Alabama. Brandon, have you seen anything on that for West Alabama?
I have not. They're going to continue that tornado watch until 10 o'clock for West Alabama. I know that for a fact, but haven't had any other information about that.
So again, here is your current situation. This is the track of this potential tornado coming out of southeast Tuscaloosa, northeast Bibb County. As I mentioned, these are the times of arrival, what time this potential tornado could be in your area. I want to show you what's happened so far tonight. Again, we still need to maintain our alert status for that tornado warning there. But so far, we have had several reports across our coverage area of damage. And what you don't see on this map is the damage out of Hale County. We know we've had a potential tornado touchdown on County Road 44. Russell Whedon down there with the EMA in Hale County mentioning that. Also, we've had quite a bit of damage up here to the north. We've got some straight line wind damage, most likely in Blount County. Jennifer Herbert mentioning some of that. North and Jefferson County. More wind damage, which is likely tornado damage in Winfield. Spoke with the EMA director there in Marion County. Looks like some significant structural damage in downtown Winfield. We got a crew on the way to the scene to see what has happened there. More damage on the Walker and Winston County line that's happening tonight. This is most likely wind damage in this area. But again, we know we at least have one tornado touchdown, potentially another one down here near Moundville.
The National Weather Service in Birmingham is going to allow that tornado warning. They're going to cancel it.
Okay.
They're going to allow for it to be canceled.
Okay, so essentially they're going to go back to watching it mode. The tornado warning is going to expire now. Okay, so they have allowed this tornado warning to expire. We're looking at the velocity, Brandon. It doesn't look as impressive as it did just earlier. I think it did potentially drop a brief tornado, but again.
Definitely some strong winds. You know, seeing some strong winds with this for a fact, and maybe some hail up to the quarter size.
Yeah, so again, this is the storm that we think dropped a tornado briefly there in northern Hale County, or at least, as Brandon mentioned, maybe some wind. But this thing still has that inflow notch, still has that weak area rotation, not far to the northwest of Brent and Centerville on 82. So that is a storm we will continue to monitor very carefully. But so far, they are allowing that tornado warning you see right there to expire now. I believe they let that expire. Yeah, National Weather Service expires tornado warning for Bibb, Hale, and Tuscaloosa County, 9:05. Okay, Weather Service mentioning they're trying to figure out a way to delineate between the old watch and the new watch. The 10 p.m. extent of the storms looks to match well with the old watch, so they're going to let the new watch cover new counties. So it looks like they are going to allow the tornado watch for West Alabama to expire at 10 o'clock in just less than 1 hour. According to the Weather Service office in Birmingham, they coordinate with the Storm Prediction Center, and whether they decide to extend that tornado watch or not, they will add a new tornado watch down here for where they think there is a better possibility for a tornado over the next few hours. So that is the latest information on that. So again, tornado warning has been allowed to expire. I know you still see the red polygon there. It will fade off of our screen at any moment. Go back over to radar and show you what we've got out there. We got active thunderstorms ongoing across portions of central Alabama. And still seeing that tornado warning polygon. That should fade away in just a moment. So let me do a radar tour and show you who's dealing with what now. We got this broken area showers and thunderstorms ongoing now. Pickens County reformed back towards Carrollton and Pickensville. This on below Ethelsville. Some maybe some lightning with that, some heavy rainfall, but nothing overly intense. Jennifer, go ahead.
Just to let you know, National Weather Service has canceled that watch for Fayette, Lamar, and Walker, and they're continuing the watch for Bibb, Blunt, Calhoun, Cherokee, Etowah, Greene, Hale, Jefferson, Pickens, Shelby, St. Clair, Sumter, Talladega, and Tuscaloosa counties.
Until that's what time?
Until 10.
Okay.
Until 10.
Okay, so I assume at 10 o'clock they're going to add a new tornado watch. This is kind of a weird situation with having to cancel the old watch and issue a new watch. So the National Weather Service is trying their best to avoid confusion. We don't want to confuse anybody out there, but this is the latest situation. This tornadic thunderstorm is no longer tornadic. The polygon's going to disappear here in just a moment, but it is still a storm that bears close watching. This is not over by any means. There's still some strong wind potential here. So we need to watch it for a potential for a new tornado to develop out of that. But that is the latest on that. The new tornado watch, this is going to fade here in just a moment. I'm just checking. Okay, I see. So they are going to cancel the tornado watch for Fayette, Lamar, and Walker only. So these counties up here are about to disappear from that watch. And all of these counties continue until 10 p.m. down here. So Pickens, Tuscaloosa, Jefferson, and Point South continues until 10 o'clock. So that's the latest on that. So again, we got quite a bit of damage being reported across central Alabama, especially in the goodness, the Winfield area hard hit tonight. And you see there's the update there. Again, those counties have been removed. These continue till 10 p.m. A lot of damage in Winfield, significant structural damage. We spoke with the EMA director there. We have not heard of any injuries or fatalities there, but based off some of the damage, it was quite significant. In fact, Brandon, I believe you still have some pictures of some of the structural damage down there over in Winfield. That was just surreal.
Yes. Yeah, I've still got that pulled up.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is going to be near the pizza bar in Winfield. That's where most of this damage is. We also have just looking around. I mean, this hit downtown again. That's the car that had the. I believe that's a piece of a pole sticking straight through the driver's side, and that's one of the restaurants in downtown that has some pretty serious structural damage. Some trees right across the road from that, and it's amazing. You know, they said that there was. I wasn't quite sure on where it was, but there was some people that were in one of these places, and there was no injuries. So, you know, to have damage like this, which is, I mean, pretty severe damage, and have no injuries, that's a blessing, in fact.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, that's incredible that, you know, these people were inside that structure and they were okay. That could have made a turn for the worse quickly.
Hey, Richard.
Go ahead.
John DeBlock's reporting broad rotation with the cell in Bibb County.
Okay, so the one they just allowed the tornado warning to expire. They're mentioning still some broad rotation there. And I tell you what, I'm checking with a storm spotter friend of ours, Justin Hindman. He is over on the Bibb County storm, and he mentions that he had penny-sized hail. He went right through the hail core of this thing, and about 10 miles northwest of Brent, but he did not see a tornado or any damage there in Bibb County. So again, he went through the hail core, had penny-sized hail, and no reports of damage there. And just checking information with Justin there, one of our storm spotters down, and he's in Bibb County checking out the storm. So again, technically still see that tornado warning because the expiration time was 9:15, so this thing won't fade away, I guess, until 9:15. It's just the way it works with our system, but that is that. So let's go over to radar and let's look at this storm carefully and watch it, because again, the Weather Service mentioning still some broad rotation here. And I tell you what, you know, Brandon, this storm looks just like it did when it came through Greene County. Very similar to that. It kind of broke apart a bit, started looking disorganized, and then it quickly wrapped up.
It won't, you know, it could do it again.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's still in an atmosphere that's prime for it to do it. And there's still broad rotation there, so it wouldn't take much.
Yeah, all this thing's got to do is wrap back up. And it hasn't done it yet, but the possibility is there. Again, the Weather Service mentioning that broad rotation. It hasn't really gotten a tight rotation to where we think there's a tornado down anymore. But this thing could happen again. So if you're north of Brent and Centerville, really West Blockton down Highway 5 to Brent, or if you are near the Cahaba River, there's 6 Mile.
Richard, there's a tornado warning for Calhoun County.
Okay, all right, we've got another storm with a tornado warning. Let's go to it now. This is not this storm. Let's go back up to the north and see what they have got.
It's located northwest of Jacksonville, and it's moving east at 40 miles per hour.
Okay, so brand new tornado warning. You said northeast of Jacksonville?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to that storm and show you where it is. So a new tornadic thunderstorm that is northeast of Jacksonville.
And it's also near Alexandria.
Okay. All right, so this thing's near Alexandria. Let's look at this thing carefully. Yeah, there it is right there. So there is Jacksonville. It's northwest of Jacksonville. There's your area rotation there. There's Alexandria. This is all in Calhoun County. There's a Piedmont there. That's Cleburne County. Once it moves into Cleburne County, it's out of our market. But again, this tornadic thunderstorm south of Hoax Bluff, north of Alexandria, has just crossed that Highway 431 corridor, and still the potential for a tornado is there. It doesn't look that impressive from high top, but still, let's look at this debris signature. All right, don't see anything there, so that's good. Moving east at 40. miles per hour. Okay, 7 miles northwest of Jacksonville. There's Jacksonville, your possible tornado somewhere in this area here on 431, crossing 431. Next stop would be Piedmont. Look at the reflectivity with this. Out of Birmingham, that's probably going to give us our best shot. So there's the velocity. I'm sorry, there's the watch warning map. Still got the tornado warning showing up there. I'm not sure why that's still showing up in our system, but it's been expired for Bibb County. There's your tornadic thunderstorm up there in Calhoun County. Let's go into this thing, show you where it is. And, you know, this storm just continues to show signs of rotation. It will weaken, and then it will re-strengthen, and another area of rotation will develop. There's Reed's Mill there, your possible tornado between that and Webster Chapel. All right, so there is the Prices area. That's Highway 21 that runs north out of Jacksonville. And still you have that potential for a tornado that is just crossed 431 north of Alexandria and is moving off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. Let's look at the velocity with this thing one more time. And again, the rotation they're looking at is this down here. This is the potential rotation, and that is off of High Top. We go back over to Birmingham because we get a better view of this thing. Yeah, so again, there it is. It's not extremely impressive, but there could be a tornado there that is north of Alexandria that's crossed that 431 corridor. So again, if you are north of Jacksonville, we need you in shelter now. In fact, even if you're in downtown Jacksonville, let's go to shelter and not take a chance for this thing. But if you are just north of there, just north of Angel on 204, Highway 204 that connects 21 to 431, there's your potential tornado that is tracking east towards the Piedmont area at about 40 miles per hour. So there is the potential for a tornado there in Calhoun County. Let me zoom this thing out and let's do a track on this and show you who's going to be in this potential tornado in Calhoun County. This is not a confirmed tornado, but it is a potential tornado. So there it is right there just north of Jacksonville, moving east at 40 miles per hour. So there we go. These are the times of arrival. This is for your particular community, what time this possible tornado is going to be in your area. And again, the Prices area, 929, need you in shelter now. Piedmont, 936. Virgo, 941. Piney Woods, 951. And then you go down the list. These are actually in Georgia. Notice the time change there from 9:51 to 10:56. That's because you move into Eastern time. So again, when it crosses into Georgia, that's in Georgia. So that's why you get the jump in the time there on our computer estimate arrival. Jennifer, we got a new update on that tornado watch, and I will let you read that off, please.
Okay, the new watch is for Chambers, Chilton, Clay, Claiborne, Coosa, Randolph, and Tallapoosa counties, and that's until 4 a.m.
All right, so that's a long duration time.
Yes.
So again, tornado watch now, Jennifer, till 4 a.m. for those counties in central and east Alabama. Tornado watch will continue in the other counties until 10 p.m. So another 40 minutes for the other counties. So again, we've got a potential tornado approaching the Piedmont area that's coming to the north of Jacksonville. If you are in Jacksonville, I would go to shelter just to be safe. There's that, again, the tornado warning there. Here's that new tornado watch till 4 a.m. for these counties in central and east Alabama. Again, Chilton County and points east until 4 a.m. For our central and west Alabama counties, that's until 10 p.m. for that particular tornado watch. I know there's a lot of information here. We're trying not to be confusing, but that is the nature of this because there's a lot of odd weather stuff happening with this setup tonight. So again, this is what's happening. Showers and thunderstorms continue to move off towards the northeast across central Alabama. We got one active storm over Bibb County that bears watching, but so far it has calmed down just a bit. There has been some on and off rotation. We had that brief tornado warning and possible tornado touchdown not far from Moundville, just on the south side of town. The storms in Pickens County, not severe. Showers in Tuscaloosa County, not severe at all. But we do have one tornadic storm that is in northern Calhoun County. We've also, let me show you this storm. Let's just look at this thing together in Bibb County. I know a lot of folks are watching us down here in the Brent Centerville area. Hard hit by a tornado back in March of this year. Big violent tornado on the south side of town. This thunderstorm is on the north side of town and is currently, we don't think, producing a tornado. There's no tornado warning for that. Let's put on the velocity. Look at this thing together. And there's still some broad general rotation, but it's not enough for the National Weather Service to issue tornado warning for Bibb County as of yet. That may change, though, so let's keep an eye out for West Blockton down to Brent. If you're on Highway 5, let's watch this thing as it does move across northern portions of Bibb County. That could change at any time. All right, let's go back off towards the northeast, and let's look at this storm that is producing a possible tornado. Again, it's not confirmed, but it's a possibility for a tornado up here in northern Calhoun County that continues to track off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. There it is there. There's Piedmont. Possible tornado is going to be, really, it may move into southern portion of Cherokee County. It's going to be interesting to see if the Weather Service decides to issue a tornado warning for Cherokee. They have not done that as of right now. And tornado warning for Calhoun County expires at 9:45, so coming up in about 20 minutes, they're going to allow that tornado warning to expire. I think it's going to be out of Calhoun County before that. Again, it's moving east at 40 miles per hour.
Hey, Richard, you've got a new area of rotation west of Piedmont.
Okay. This is the same storm right here, so I believe what they're seeing, Jennifer, is another rotation popping up in here. Looks like the old one may have died out. Brandon, did you see that? Looks like the old rotation down here died out.
Yes.
And that one is forming.
So, it might be forming up the line.
Yeah, I think it is. I think you're right. Looks like so. You got this line of thunderstorms moving in, and we got this new rotation that's kind of formed inside that line, and that's it right there. So Piedmont, we need you in shelter now for a possibility for a tornado that's going to be moving over you in the next 10 to 15 minutes. If you're north of there in southern Cherokee County, I would say Sanford Springs, Pleasant Gap, let's be in shelter. Yeah, this thing's wrapping up pretty quick there, just west of Piedmont. So again, Piedmont, shelter now as a possible tornado could be moving your way. New tornado warning coming for Bibb County. Let's go back down to the south. Another tornado warning coming for Bibb County.
That rotation has strengthened pretty fast just north of Centerville on Highway 5.
All right, we're just talking about that. If you are in Bibb County, let's be in shelter again. We've got a tornado warning that's about to be posted there for Bibb County between West Blockton and Centerville as a new area rotation is developing down here just on the north side of Gary Springs. That's the Cahaba River that's going to cross the Cahaba River very shortly. You got 6 Mile. That's Shelby County there, so we will see if the Weather Service issues for Shelby. They do not. They issue for Bibb only until 10:15. So again, brand new tornado warning just being issued for Bibb County till 10:15. That includes the northern half of Bibb County. Let's show you the polygon and who's going to be in that potential tornado as the rotations begin to ramp back up again. Again, this the nature of this, Brandon, is how cyclical these storms can be. You look at them 1 minute, they start to weaken, and then all of a sudden you've got another tornadic circulation developing.
Right. That's why we have to watch them very closely, because I mean, you saw what happened with this storm. It was really strong as it went through Hale County and produced that damage. It has kind of weakened and broadened out, but now that it's back in Bibb County, just north of Centerville on Highway 5, just south of West Blockton, you have that rotation kind of spin back up. And so that's what we're watching. The warning does not include Centerville, but right over the river it does include Brent. It does, let's see who's in this warning polygon. You have all the way over to Ashby, which is kind of toward the Shelby County, Bibb County line. that's also in this tornado warning polygon. So that's what we're watching. We're watching this storm very closely. We still have that tornado warning as well for northern Calhoun County. And so we're watching both of these very closely. We're going to give both of them equal time. And Jennifer, you don't have any damage reports, do you?
I don't see any damage report. We did just get 2 new tornado warnings for Bibb County as well as Calhoun, Cherokee, and Claiborne counties. These will last until, well, the one for Bibb County will go until 10:15 p.m., and for Calhoun, Cherokee, and Claiborne counties, that will go until 10 p.m. this evening.
Okay, Jennifer, I want to mention too, EMA Director in Hill County, Russell Whedon, mentioning County Road 44 has been cleared down there in Hill County. They got the trees off the road. That has been cleared. So if you are in Hill County, if you got travel on County Road 44, that has been cleared. So we've got multiple tornado warnings now. We're working. Let me put on the watch warning map and show you where they are. So again, a tornado warning for Bibb County until 10:15, only for eastern Bibb County, essentially near and northeast of Brent and Centerville. We've also got northern Calhoun County, southern Cherokee, northern Cleburne County underneath the tornado warning. Now we cover Cherokee and Calhoun County. Cleburne County is outside of our TV market, but again, we'll treat it fairly and stay with you there as well. We got the tornado watch continues for West Alabama for Pickens, Sumter, Greene, Hale, Tuscaloosa, Bibb, Jefferson, Blunt until 10 o'clock. The brand new tornado watch goes for Chilton, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Clay, and I believe Talladega County until 4 a.m. For this general area and southeast portions of our central Alabama coverage area. So again, new tornado warning added for northern Calhoun County, southern portion of Cherokee, and also northern portions of Cleburne County. So let's take in all this and show you who's dealing with what. First off, let's go down to Bibb County and show you that exactly what's happening. So we got, again, this tornadic thunderstorm once again ramping up a bit. Yeah, there's your inflow notch you see there. We got a hail core on Highway 5 north of Brent, really between Brent and West Blockton. And this isn't a confirmed tornado, but it is a storm that could produce a tornado at any time. Right there, that's your inflow notch on Highway 5 on the north side of Brent. That's the Cahaba River that winds up to the northeast towards Seymour there. If you are just south of Seymour, shelter now. Red Eagle down to the south to Brent, shelter now. Again, got to get out of a mobile home. If you're in a mobile home, get out now, find a site-built structure, and find something that can protect you from flying debris. Put a bike helmet on your head, anything you can think of that will protect your life if there is a tornado down here. So again, that's that storm there that is tracking off towards the northeast. I do want to look at the velocity just for a moment. And let's see what this thing's showing. Again, there's our rotational signature now. Still rotating thunderstorm about to cross the Cahaba River. There's 6 Mile and Gary Springs down here. That's just on the north side of 6 Mile and Gary Springs, south of Red Eagle. So if you're on 5 below Red Eagle, that's where the trouble area is. Put back on the reflectivity and let's go up to the northeast and show you that storm, because we've got a lot going on at the same time. I want to try to be fair for everybody watching. First off, that's the only storm in West Alabama that has us concerned at all. Everybody else west of here, I don't see any evidence of severe weather in this area. The only severe storm is that one right there in Bibb County. Let's go to the northeast and show you again that tornadic thunderstorm coming out of Calhoun County, essentially moving over the southern portion of Cherokee, northern Cleburne County. Very tall, very small tornado warning polygon. Your potential tornado is right on top of Piedmont now. We need you in shelter. Should have been there 10 minutes ago. Pleasant Gap there. All right. If you look, here's the county line. Really, this is going to move over the triple point of Cherokee, Cleburne, Calhoun. That's where this potential tornado is going to track. So if you are in that area, if you are south of Weiss Lake, if you're south of Sanford Springs, especially Pleasant Gap, you got to be sheltered now. That's your tornado warning polygon. You got to do something about it if you are in that tornado warning polygon. And this was moving east, guys, at 50 miles per hour. Fast motion of the storm. This was going to be out of Alabama and into Georgia soon. Look at the rotation with that, Brandon. This thing is really wrapped up near Piedmont. I would not be surprised if we got a tornado there.
And you're looking so far up. I
Yep.
mean, we're looking, if you look even from High Top, which is what you're looking from right now, or even Birmingham's radar, you're several thousand feet up off the ground looking at that.
Yeah, let me see if I can switch over to Birmingham, and let's just look at this thing together. I don't know if I can reach. Yeah, I can't see from Birmingham too far away. But yeah, you're talking about thousands of feet up of rotating air. So we know we've got a strong mesocyclone rotating air that extends thousands of feet up in the atmosphere, and this thing could be producing a tornado. I would not be surprised if we got one down right over Piedmont now. So if you are in Piedmont, I hope you took shelter. We have a potential tornado there. There may be a debris dropout there or debris signature near Piedmont. I don't see.
I'll look on the Birmingham radar.
Go ahead.
It's too noisy. We can't really see anything from Birmingham.
Yeah, this is kind of one of those weird spots in Alabama where the rotation is so high up, it's going to be hard to see debris. Unless this is a big, violent EF4 type of tornado, it's going to be hard to see debris lofted that high into the atmosphere. Put on the warning. There's your warning. Got Pleasant Gap there. 278 runs into Georgia. This is south of Sanford Springs, south of Rock Run. But again, if you are Piedmont and points east of the Georgia state line, if you are near the Highway 278 corridor, you need to be in shelter now. So out of a mobile home, site-built structure, and find that interior room inside your home, often a closet, bathtub, basement, if you got that, or storm shelter is your best bet, as there could be a tornado with that. So let's go back over to Bibb County and show you that. I know we got a lot of storms are working at the same time.
I do just want to throw this out here. The Weather Prediction Center is kind of highlighting an area across central Alabama now for flash flooding as well. We're having some of these storms train over the same spots over and over, producing 1 to 2 inch an hour rain rates, so very heavy rain. And it won't take any time for that to produce flash flooding. So Weather Prediction Center is just kind of highlighting from Tuscaloosa to Birmingham to Anniston, that corridor, for some possible flooding.
Yeah, and that's a good point. You mentioned Brandon and Jennifer, you mentioned earlier some of those flood advisories we had, as there is that potential for some flooding out there as well tonight. So we'll carefully watch that. So still got tornado warning for Bibb County, got tornado warning for technically northeast Calhoun County, that's over Piedmont, southern Cherokee, northern Etowah County, northern Cleburne County underneath that tornado warning. So this is the one we're watching now. Let's go into that storm that is in Bibb County. Here is your tornado warning polygon. Again, if you're inside this tornado warning polygon, you got to do something about it. This has not, as of right now, been extended east of there. But I'll say this, it's been awfully quiet from this storm after it moved out of Hale County. I have not heard of anything out of this yet after it passed Hale County.
And Richard, speaking of the flooding, they did just issue an aerial flood advisory for Bibb, Hale, Shelby, and Tuscaloosa counties.
Okay, so yeah, we got a flooding potential there as well. Tornado warning continues for Bibb County. Need you in shelter now. If you're in a mobile home, get out of that. Find that site-built structure. Let me go back. Let me show you this. First off, this is our Brian Denny camera in Tuscaloosa. And the wind is now out of the west, Brandon, Jennifer. Wind's out of the west in Tuscaloosa. That is an encouraging thing to see. If that wind can continue to veer around to the west, that will greatly diminish the tornado risk where the wind is out of the west. Wherever you are in central Alabama, if you go outside and your wind is out of the south, you still got problems. If the wind's out of the west, your threat is lowering and diminishing. So again, go outside where you are, and if that wind's hitting you in the face and you're pointing south towards the Gulf of Mexico, you are still in this threat. But if you are in west or northwest Alabama, where the wind has changed directions out of the west or perhaps northwest, the risk is coming to an end for you. So again, just a little tidbit for you there. Summerton 66, you're cool and stable. Let's go back over to radar and zoom you into this tornadic thunderstorm. Jennifer, you mentioned the aerial flood advisory. We've got some storms back here in Mississippi. These are not tornadic, but they will dump a lot of rain in a short period of time. Here is our tornadic thunderstorm in Bibb County. This is going to be crossing into Shelby, northern Chilton County in a matter of about 15 minutes. We'll see if the Weather Service decides to issue a tornado warning for those counties. So far, that has not happened. And we will keep an eye on that. So again, a possible tornado. This is not a confirmed. This is a possibility of a tornado down here in Bibb County that will be moving out of the county within about 15 minutes. The warning goes until, I believe that's what, 10:15. Yes. So 10:15 for this tornado warning. I think it's going to be out of Bibb County before 10:15. It should be crossing to Shelby and northern portions of Chilton County, most likely somewhere near, I'd say near Montevallo or Wilton, and points south towards Mineral Springs, maybe even as far south as Jemison. It is moving due east. So again, if you're in 6 Mile, it has now crossed the Cahaba River, the possible tornado. Very close 6 Mile, there's Briarfield, there's the Oakley community. This is north of Bibb Mill. So if you are north of Bibb Mill towards Briarfield or Oakley, we still need you in shelter as there is the possibility of a tornado. I'll look at the velocity with this. And still something there. This thing just keeps going, coming and going. It really, with every scan, it looks different.
And, you know, we've been following this since central Mississippi, this same storm. And so it's a cyclic thunderstorm, so we have to watch it very closely. And, you know, it might go through a period where it's stronger with rotation, and then it might go through a period where it's a little weaker. But that storm, Richard, I think it might be running a boundary, because if you look to the southwest of Ealine on 82, just south of Pearson, do you see that other thunderstorm? It's also got broad rotation.
Yeah, just looking at that, that's kind of the tail end of that storm there. Yeah, there's some sort of boundary there, whether it's a rain-cool boundary or some sort of instability axis. There's no doubt there's something going on down there that's causing this storm to rotate, and then this storm back here below Pearson to also rotate. So there's 82. We're watching that other storm back to the west. So far, it is behaving, but not guaranteed that's going to continue. Let's go off towards the north, and let's look at the storm moving out of Piedmont now. Looks like it's totally into Cherokee County. Yeah, there it is. Look at that thing. Totally in Cherokee County on 278. All right, so this is essentially on top of Pleasant Gap. Right now, we need you in shelter. Rock Run, I'd even be in shelter if you're up at Rock Run. But again, Pleasant Gap, shelter now. Palestine community, that's in northern portions of Cleburne County. You need to be in shelter now as well, as the possibility of a tornado is also there right now. There's your couplet, green blowing towards the radar, red blowing away from the radar. That's your rotational signature there, and the possibility of tornadoes right on top of Highway 278 as we speak. This now to the northeast of Piedmont, no longer threatening Piedmont. I'll tell you one thing encouraging, guys, I've not seen anything out of Piedmont. This thing was wrapped up pretty good there. It's moved right over town. But so far, I have not seen anything from that. Let's go down to the south and show you again Bibb County. We've got a tornadic thunderstorm. The one in southern Cherokee County is just about moved out of a market in Georgia. Again, if you are in southern Cherokee, shelter now. Other storm of concern is moving out of Bibb County. This thing's about to move across into Shelby County. And the Weather Service is going to have to make a decision pretty quick whether they're going to extend this tornado warning or not. And I'll tell you what, let me pull on the reflectivity. So there it is. There's our possible tornado. This thing is extremely cyclical. It'll pulse up, possibly produce a tornado, and then weaken again. So this thing is just back and forth of whether it's going to have a tornado or not. So I think this thing may be trending downhill for now. Don't know if that's going to continue, but at least that's a trend that could be happening. Still, the storm stretches back to the west and the southeast Tuscaloosa County. You're dealing with this as well, but the tornadic part of the storm is now clearly east of the Cahaba River. That's your inflow notch, your possible tornado. That's where the air is rotating there to the northeast of Brent and Centerville. But if you're in Montevallo, I would look out for some large hail potential in Montevallo, as there could be maybe some nickel-sized hail there based off what we're seeing with our reflectivity. And this is getting awfully close to the radar site, which is just on the north side of Calera. That's a radar site right there in Shelby County. But if you're at 6 Mile, we need you out of a mobile home. Ashby, out of a mobile home in a site-built structure now. And we'll continue to follow this storm in Bibb County. So, Brandon, so far, I haven't heard of anything from the Weather Service on whether they're going to extend this or not, because this rotation is almost totally out of Bibb County.
Well, and the lightning has also decreased with this thunderstorm just recently. So, it looks like it might be going through another weakening trend. It's still in a very favorable environment. It's still in a highly sheared environment with instability. And so the fuel for the thunderstorms is still there. And so it still bears watching, but it might be on the decrease right now. Jennifer, you haven't had any reports come in, have you?
No, I haven't seen it.
Okay, yeah, so, we're still watching it, but as of right now, it might be on the downswing.
Got an update. Tornado warning for Calhoun County has been canceled, and the tornado warning in Cherokee and Claiborne counties is continuing until 10 p.m.
All right, so yeah, they're just going to continue that tornado warning. So it's now out of Calhoun County, Jennifer. So that's what they're doing there is kind of reissuing
The tornado warning for Calhoun County just expired.
Okay, yeah. So since it's now out of Calhoun, they're going to allow that to expire. It's totally into southern Cherokee or northern Cleveland County. I see that update on the tornado warning polygon there. That's
And
the new
hey,
one.
Richard, I do have an update on some storm damage from Tuscaloosa County. They're actually not seeing much in the county. No reports of trees down. However, a few locations are experiencing power outage.
All right, and I tell you what, Jennifer, I know, Brandon, you got that power outage map, and once you get that up, if you don't mind taking that, I would be interested to see what's happening in all of central Alabama, see where the power outages are kind of maxed out there.
Got it ready for you.
All right, let's pull it up.
So it looks like right now, the main power outages are still in Marion County. Of course, Marion County was hard hit about 2 hours ago with Winfield. And then you see that main line segment went through Coleman and Blount County, and with that, it produced some power outages. But as of 9:35, we're not, most of our counties are faring well. We don't have a lot of power outages across a lot of our counties. It's saying 5,000 people are without power. Most of those are in Marion County. So as of right now, we're faring pretty well, but it looks like our northern counties got the brunt of that damaging wind threat, and that could have knocked out some power.
Yeah, it looks like Coleman and Blount County knocked out some power there.
Getting several reports from Blount County of trees down.
Yeah, that coincides perfect with that map. So again, power outages knocked down by trees, or knocked out by trees from wind earlier. Don't think that was a tornado. Based off what we're looking at, had that bowing feature come through there, and it looks like that's probably what happened there. Rotation is almost totally out of Bibb County. So let's get back into that. First off, I do want to quickly show this storm is moving out of Cherokee County into Georgia. The potential tornado, let's look at the velocity signature with that. Yeah, it's just about totally out of our coverage area. 278 corridor still need to be in shelter. If you are on the Georgia-Alabama state line, that's our storm we're concerned about there. We'll go down to the south and east, or excuse me, south and west, and show you Bibb County. Got a thunderstorm, still dangerous storm that could be producing a tornado. That is now over 6 Mile. All right. So this is going to be approaching the Montevallo area. Briarfield also. You see Highway 25 that runs from 6 Mile into Shelby County, and then tees into Highway 139 there near Briarfield, just on the Shelby County side of Bibb County. That's where we are concerned about for at least the possibility for tornado warning. Go ahead.
Bibb County tornado warning has been canceled.
Okay, so we're just showing that. Tornado has been, the warning has been canceled for Bibb County. So we no longer have any tornado warnings in West Alabama. We still technically have a tornado warning briefly for our friends in southern Cherokee County. I'll tell you what, let me go back over to our watch warning map. Calhoun County, you're out of the tornado warning. I know you still see red there. No longer a threat for you. Tornado warning, Bibb County, you're done with. It's out of the county. We'll have to watch southern Shelby, northern Chilton. If this thing tries to recycle again, we may have another tornado warning for you. So you can bet we're going to be watching that storm with interest. Still technically a tornado watch for another 15 minutes for West Alabama, Tuscaloosa, Hale, Pickens, Green, Sumter. We will see if they decide to extend that. Haven't seen that yet. Do note that the Atlanta market is now under tornado watch. Looks like they've extended that tornado watch into Georgia and including the Atlanta area. Got tornado warning been expired for Bibb County. That's going to disappear soon. Calhoun County no longer under a tornado warning. Our only tornado warning is in southern and eastern Cherokee County. It's currently moving across into Georgia as we speak. Let's go back over the radar and show you what's happening. Got more storms back in Mississippi. These have not shown any sign of rotation, but showers and general thunderstorms out here. Maybe some lightning and thunder, some gusty wind potential, but I don't see anything there with that. And I tell you what, I'm just kind of checking some things behind the scenes here.
Looks like if you're north of Interstate 20, it looks like the tornado threat, the severe weather threat, is starting to wind down in general. Of course, you still could have some thunderstorms overnight. You know, you have those thunderstorms coming in from Mississippi and near Columbus, moving northeast. But for now, it looks like the severe weather threat is kind of diminishing north of the Tuscaloosa, Birmingham, Gadsden area.
Yeah, I think so too, Brandon. Looks like anything that could form would be down here now, particularly with this one long track supercell thunderstorm that's really been going since central Mississippi. That storm certainly appears to be in a waning phase. It's not as impressive as it was earlier. That's why the Weather Service in Birmingham decided to go ahead and cancel that tornado warning for that thunderstorm. And let's look at the debris signature. And because we are so close to the radar side, if there's something down, we're going to know about it pretty quick. Okay, so we are also on Facebook Live. Do want to remind you that if you lose power there and you can't watch us on television, you can watch us on the WVUA 23 Facebook page. We're on there. And also on our website, WVUA23.com as well. So again, that's the latest situation. We've got a possible tornado that could be very close to Calera or South Calera on Highway 31. Interstate 65. This is just down the road from the National Weather Service office. Have not heard if they are taking shelter or not, but so far it seems like they think they are okay where they are. So again, Weather Service saying winds estimate 45 miles an hour there. They've had some fairly sizable hailstones fall at the National Weather Service office. Let's go back over to the reflectivity and should get a good view of this thing because this is from Birmingham's perspective. Yeah, there it is right there. That is your hook echo feature. That's that inflow notch that we often look for possible tornado. If there's going to be a tornado, it's going to be down here on the south side of this thunderstorm. There's Calera. That's where your large hail is falling right now. A pretty populated area. You got Columbiana dealing with that as well. Brandon, go ahead.
John DeBlock at the National Weather Service in Birmingham is saying a possible debris signature is now crossing the interstate south of Calera.
Okay, let's go into that now. And I tell you what, Brandon, if you've got your radar pulled up too, we got a observed, confirmed tornado down near Calera. That is an observed tornado. You see the pink polygon pop up there. This is now an emergency situation for areas south of Calera. We got a confirmed tornado down. When you see that pink polygon, that is a major situation for tornado that's confirmed down not far from Calera. So again, if you're in southern Shelby County, extremely dangerous situation for a tornado that is down. And I believe that's what they're looking at right there, about to cross Interstate 65 on the Chilton-Shelby County line. So again, an observed, confirmed tornado down in southern Shelby County, northern Chilton County. We know this thing's down now. Let's back this out just a bit so you can see what we've got in terms of that polygon. And again, so that's it. That's a tornado crossing Interstate 65 right there. I know it's kind of noisy. It's hard to see because we're so close to the radar site itself, but a Weather Service has issued a dangerous situation tornado warning. A confirmed tornado is down. Let's see, put on the watch warning map. And there's your tornado warning polygon, but what they did is went and updated the tornado warning itself. And I tell you what, Brandon, if you got the chat open, if you want to mention that information in that tornado warning.
Well, it's a confirmed tornado was located near Calera. It's moving east at 30. Brett Adair, storm chaser, says that he now has the tornado visible, numerous power flashes in northern Chilton County. The delta on this, or the gate-to-gate shear, was around 90 miles per hour. So this is a pretty strong thunderstorm and a tornado that's on the ground.
All right, so we got a tornado on the ground, and Brett said in northern Chilton, right, Brandon, is that what you mentioned?
Yes, I believe he is in northern Chilton.
Okay, so northern Chilton County got a tornado that is currently down. So this is, again, an emergency situation. If you are in the path of this tornado, seek shelter now out of a mobile home. Find as many site-built structures, find as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And once this thing moves past you, I'll give you an all clear. Look, before you lose power, remember WVUA 23 Facebook page. You can watch our live stream on there and on our website as well. So again, an observed, confirmed tornado. We got a storm spotter there, that Brett Adair, that is looking at this tornado himself, and he sees that. I know Brett personally. I know he knows what he's looking at. And also we have the signature on radar. And there it is. There's our confirmed tornado crossing I-65. That's our shear, our gate-to-gate shear. That's our couplet. It looks like it is just below the Shelby County. There it is. Look at that. Just below the Shelby County line. So an extremely dangerous tornado down that's going to be crossing the Coosa River in a matter of about 15 minutes or so from right now. I'll tell you what, let me zoom into this a little bit more.
Definitely have a good debris signature now on radar.
Yeah, this thing is wrapped up. This thing is tight. So again, I cannot stress how urgent this is for a tornado down in northern Chilton County. This could cross the Coosa River. Coosa River is the edge of your screen there. Let's look at, I tell you what, while we've got this, let's look at the delta. You mentioned the velocity on this, the wind speed. Let's see what our gate-to-gate shear is. Showing velocity 74 miles an hour right now. We've seen this thing a little bit higher just a minute ago, but still, this is an extremely dangerous situation for tornado down. Let's look at the correlation coefficient, the debris tracker. We should see our debris ball right there. There it is. That's our debris. That's our tornado. This tornado is down, and it's doing damage right now. We've got multiple power flashes. Again, Brett Adair mentioning multiple power flashes of this tornado across Interstate 65. That's the Shelby County line. Shelby County Airport's the top of your screen near Calera. There's South Calera. This tornado's done pass by you now and is continuing to move off towards
Highway
145. Go ahead. Yeah, looks like this thing just crossed Interstate 65. Tree limbs on the interstate, all over the interstate, just off the South Calera exit, moving towards Highway 145 right now. And yeah, large tree branches over the interstate right now, Interstate 65, approximately at the mile marker 224. All right, here's your debris signature, a very classic debris ball. We got a dangerous tornado down doing damage. That's it right there. Let me move this camera around just a bit because I want to show everybody in the path of this thing. So again, you got the Coosa River. There is the Shelby Chilton County line. Your potential tornadoes right there. Let me zoom out. Just show everybody out there because I know there's a lot of folks in different parts of Shelby and Chilton County may not be dealing with that. So there's Springs Junction there. There is the Shelby County line, Chilton County down here. It's crossed Interstate 65. You've got the Coosa River right there. Talladega Springs at the top of your screen, at the edge of your screen there. So this is going to cross the Coosa in about 15 minutes.
The tornado damage threat has been upgraded to considerable. A confirmed large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Calera, moving east at 35.
So this is an observed and considerably dangerous situation for a tornado that is down. We see the debris ball, a fairly large size debris ball, and I can imagine based off the populated area this thing is in, we're going to get reports, a lot more reports very quickly. We know this tornado's down and doing damage. That's Highway 145 right there. I'll tell you what, let's put on the hazard here. We should see our TDS, and that has not popped up yet. I know it's there though. Let's look at our velocity signature. Just look at the couplet. Oh man, look at the couplet. Very tight and strong wind signature right here. About to cross Highway 145 now. It has moved off to the east to Calera now. There's Calera, there's South Calera. This thing is clearly across the interstate, and we'll be crossing the Coosa River in a matter of just a few moments. Brandon,
John
update.
DeBlock
Go ahead.
says that debris is being wafted up to 10,000 feet. So usually that is indicative of a stronger tornado.
Yeah.
The community of Shelby, it kind of runs into a little bit of northern Chilton County. So if you're anywhere near the community of Shelby or even know where that is, you need to be in your safe place now. So this is going to clip the extreme southeastern part of Shelby County near the community of Shelby.
Yeah, this could be crossing a lake, basically the interchange of Shelby and Chilton County. So if you are at Spring Creek, it looks like this thing should be moving into more of a sparsely populated part of Chilton County, but still, this is a big deal for you. So it's crossed Interstate 65 near County Road 151, so where this thing is now. It's going to eventually move into that southern tip of Shelby County that meets up to Lay Lake. So Spring Creek, we need you in shelter now. Tornado's going to cross County Road 47, County Road 99 there. All right, so if you are in this area, shelter now. This is as urgent as it gets, as we do have a tornado that is down in the Chilton-Shelby County line. Again, the National Weather Service mentioning debris is 10,000 feet. That is incredible for this storm. My goodness, that is a tall tornado. So we know we have one down, and that's it right there. I tell you what, let me zoom out just a bit. Let's do a track on this thing because we need to show people in the path of this thing and who's going to be impacted. So I'm going to zoom out just a bit. Again, that's Lay Lake right there. This is Shelby County, runs down here. This kind of like Boot Hill of Shelby County. We got Coosa County and Talladega County. If this tornado continues, it's going to cross Lay Lake into northern Coosa County and southern portion of Talladega County. I'd say somewhere around Talladega Springs, down towards a Strickland Crossroads. So that's where we're talking about right there. So let me zoom out and do a track on this. And again, it's moving east at 35 miles per hour. That's the forward speed of this thing. So let's do a track and show you where it is heading. There it is right there. So a confirmed tornado moving generally off towards the east at 35 miles per hour. And these are going to be the community times of arrival. This is what time it's going to be in your area. Again, there you go. You see this community on your screen. At that time, that's when the tornado is going to be there. So again, Talladega Springs, we're looking at 10:36. Got a little while to go, but go ahead and go to shelter now. Even as far east as Sylacauga at 10:56. Oldfield at 11 o'clock. If this tornado continues, it will move into even southwestern Clay County. You could deal with this tornadic thunderstorm and this confirmed tornado down with that.
I'm just looking at a separate radar
Go ahead.
system here, and I'm seeing debris being lofted up to about 12,000 feet now.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Also, Brandon, Justin Hindman is also on this storm too. He's watching this situation very carefully, as well as we are. And I tell you what, I'm going to check his live stream real quick and just see what he has got, because I believe he is on this storm as well. This confirmed tornado down. That's on the Chilton-Shelby County line.
It's crossing into the southern part of Shelby County now, again on 145, just south of the community of Shelby.
Okay.
So
again, this thing is really meaning business where it is, and we're watching Justin's live stream here. I'm going to pull that up on air if I can here just a moment. So just bear with me while I pull up his live stream. This is Justin Hindman that is on this storm. And again, this is kind of a storm that really spun up quickly. I mean, it seemed like all of a sudden it went from weakening to a strengthening phase.
we have a new tornado warning.
we
This
go.
is going to be for the same storm. This is when they're going to extend the tornado warning. This is now for Coosa and Talladega County until 11. At 10:18, a tornado-producing storm was located near Lay Lake, or 7 miles south of Columbiana. It is now moving east at 35.
And again, this is Justin Hindman's live stream, and he is watching this tornadic thunderstorm off in the distance. And again, we see a few folks out there with their flashers on, and you can see travel up and down the highway there, and I'm going to try to get his exact location, but he's watching this dangerous thunderstorm there that has moved through that area. So let me go back over to, I'll tell you what, we're going to keep a close eye on this as well. Let me go back over to our radar and show you that. So again, our coverage area, what we're dealing with is one dangerous tornadic thunderstorm that's been extended into southern Talladega County, northern portions of Coosa County. See that pink polygon representing an observed dangerous tornado that's on the ground. We've got rain showers and thunderstorms over west Alabama, but these are not severe. So our tornado is for Coosa and Talladega County until, let's see, 11 o'clock. Yeah, a tornado-producing thunderstorm located near Lay Lake or 7 miles south of Columbiana, moving east at 35 miles per hour. So this storm is producing a confirmed dangerous tornado that is moving in that direction. Let me take you into this storm. And again, this is about to move out of Shelby County. The majority part of Shelby County, you're okay. This thing is south of Columbiana clearly, but again, you got Lay Lake right there. There's a lot of folks that live out here. There's a lot of folks with camp houses. We got to get you out of that now. If you are in a mobile home, site-built structure, and put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, as we continue to get you through this thunderstorm that is producing a confirmed tornado. And this thing is wicked. It has really spun up quickly now. And again, you see Talladega Springs there. You're right in this tornado warning polygon. There's Lay Lake right there. Moss Tellers right there. So again, a lot of folks that live out in this part of the world. A lot of people fish out there. A lot of camp houses located in that area. And that is where this dangerous tornado is going right now. Let me put on the debris signature. And again, clearly you can still see your tornado down right there. This is Shelby County. This is Chilton County. You got Coosa County that crosses the Coosa River at Lay Lake. Strickland Crossroads right there at the edge of your screen. Talladega Springs at the top of your screen. That's over the Talladega side of the county. Again, Lay Lake separates all those counties. You got your junction of Talladega, Coosa, and Shelby right here. This is that kind of Boot Hill part of Shelby County. The tornado is crossing 145 now. So look at the velocity and just kind of watch this thing together. And still no doubt there is a signature there. But I will say this, Brandon, it does look like that last scan of the velocity, this thing may be trying to occlude off or pinch off just a bit. But I'm telling you now, don't let your guard down on this storm.
Right.
This thing means business.
It won't take long for it to wrap back up if it does. And so there's definitely still a signature there, and it's still lofting debris. So we have to still assume that there's a tornado on the ground.
Yeah, so let's assume this thing's still down and is doing damage, and we know it is. We know it's still down, but the couplet that we saw about 10 minutes ago seems to have at least briefly weakened some. Again, I don't even want to say that to let your guard down, because this thing could wrap up so fast and produce a tornado like that. So again, if you're in Moss Tellers there down Lay Lake, that's the Coosa River. We got a Marble Valley there, Strickland Crossroads. You got to be in shelter. If you are anywhere near Lay Lake in this part of the Coosa River, in this part of Alabama, shelter now, as we have a dangerous tornado that is about to cross over into northern Coosa in southern Talladega County. This is just about totally out of Shelby County now. And again, this thing means business. And I'll tell you what, Brandon, have you seen any pictures so far? Go ahead.
I haven't got any pictures yet from the, I'm looking through social media. I haven't seen anything yet. Brett Adair passes along, though, that trees are down along Highway 145, about a mile north of Chilton County line, which is where that signature is about right now.
So yeah, no doubt this thing is still producing damage, and again, Brett is on this storm too, and continues to monitor this situation. Go ahead.
Sorry, there's reports of flooding.
And we got Jennifer. Jennifer's up. Go ahead.
On Shelby County 22 near 119 by Flying X Ranch. Just know that road is flooded. Do not drive through it.
All right, so again, we got flooded roadways too. We're continuing to deal with these thunderstorms that are producing not only flooding, but a tornado situation. Let me put on our Birmingham reflectivity just for a moment and show you everybody out there. We got showers and thunderstorms over West Alabama. I do want to mention for Tuscaloosa and points west, there's no longer a tornado watch in effect for you. There are no longer issues of severe weather ongoing for the Anniston, the Oxford area, and points north. Our only concern, our only storm of concern at the moment is this one that is in that little small Boot Hill southern and eastern section of Shelby County that's about to cross the Coosa-Lay Lake. This is well north of Rockford, well north of Clanton, all northeast of Jemison and Mineral Springs. That's where you see that pink polygon. Again, the red tornado warning polygon represents a tornado warning. Whenever you see that shade of pink, that means there's an observed tornado that is down and is currently doing damage right now. And Brandon, I think we got a new update from the Weather Service on that.
They're going to continue the tornado warning. It's now radar indicated, so they've dropped the observed tag. Okay. At 10:24, severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Lake or near Talladega Springs, moving east at 40. I also want to say that the National Weather Service is watching a thunderstorm in East Mississippi. It's got broad rotation in Noxubee County. Okay. They're watching that one closely.
All right, so we've got another storm back there in Mississippi. You said Noxubee, we're watching. Weather Service now saying this is a radar-confirmed tornado, so they have dropped the observed damaging tornado tag. But again, it doesn't matter. This thing could wrap up incredibly fast. We just saw that happen, and you got to be in shelter if you're headed this thing, because this storm means business. It's out here by itself. It's not competing with anything at all. This is an individual supercell thunderstorm. It has that characteristic. It has a history of producing some damage, and that's what's happening there. So if you're in Strickland Crossroads, Weguffka right there, shelter now. If you are, even if you're in Sylacauga, I know you're technically on the northern end of the tornado warning polygon, but if you are near or south of Sylacauga, go ahead and get that shelter. That's in southern Talladega County. This is the county line of Talladega here, Coosa here, Shelby here, Lay Lake on the Coosa River. Again, this is what's crossing the river right now. Let's look at the velocity signature with that. And again, Brandon, we mentioned this thing, it's really lost that characteristic it looked like just a few minutes ago, but my goodness, this thing spun up quick.
It was fast, and it sprung up with a vengeance too. But now, when you look at velocity, I think that what's happened is the rain-cooled air has now cut off the original circulation, so we're getting some stronger winds. But with that, you could also have another tornado wrap up very quickly.
Yeah, and it doesn't take long at all for this to happen. So again, we saw that happen, man. We were in our news, just began our 10 o'clock news, and the storm was weakening. Then, I mean, it wasn't just a minute later. It spun up quick. Go ahead. We got some trees down.
Highway 155, Jemison, trees down heading towards Providence Church. Tree down is in the southbound lane.
Okay. Yeah, so this is all part of that rotating thunderstorm. Still got some rotation there, but in terms of the incredible tornado signature we had just a few minutes ago, it seems to have briefly faded, but still we have got to stay sheltered in Talladega Springs, Sylacauga, Strickland Crossroads. We want you in that shelter now. And again, you got to get out of a mobile home, find that site-built structure, interior room, bathroom, hallway, interior closet, basement if you got that, or storm shelter, always best bet, or a community storm shelter if you have time to get there. But again, if you're in South Talladega County, northern Coosa, just go be in shelter now and don't take a chance with this thing. It has done damage. I have not heard of any injuries or fatalities, anything yet, but understand this just happened. So it takes a while to get that information out. I do want to look at that storm that is in Noxubee County in East Mississippi. Again, the National Weather Service watching that. There is not a tornado watch for West Alabama, but again, the storms over here, the shear is not as great as it once was. There it is near Shuqualak. The shear is not as great as it once was over West Alabama. The Weather Service allowing the tornado watch to expire. However, there's no doubt that's some rotation there just northwest of Geiger. That's Highway 17. ML's down here at the bottom of your screen. This storm also bears watching. Let's look at the reflectivity out of Columbus. And yeah, it's not classic, but it's still a storm that we need to carefully watch for another potential to produce a tornado. That's going to be moving into southern Pickens, northern Sumter County, and eventually into Greene County if this thing does hold together. But right now, there's not a tornado warning for that. That could change at any time.
Chilton County is reporting trees and power lines down on their public safety feed.
Okay, so are they having a hard time getting warning or information out?
I'm not sure, but that was just passed along via social media.
Okay. So again, we've got a mess here with the storm that's come out of Shelby County. It is now totally into southern Talladega, northern Coosa County. Let me put on the Birmingham reflectivity, and let's look at the rain part of this thing. And yeah, this thing has really changed significantly in the past 5-10 minutes or so. The structure is not as impressive as it was as I moved across South Talladega County, South Shelby County, northern Chilton. But again, please understand this thing is cyclical, and it could spin up in a hurry, and has done that before. And it looks like yeah, Weather Service are watching Pickens County, strong thunderstorm moving into Pickens County right now. So again, a radar indicated tornado still there. Let's look at the debris signature on this. And it looks like we have totally lost that debris signature, Brandon. I don't
I'm having
see
a
it.
tough time seeing it too.
Look at the velocity. And no doubt there's still that kind of inflow feature where there could be some rotating air right over Talladega Springs. This is over Lay Lake now. It is crossing the Coosa River at Lay Lake. And if you're in Sylacauga, I'd go ahead and go to that shelter now. Even though it looks like this thing may be in a brief weakening phase, it only takes about 5 minutes for this to look like this to have a tornado down. So it doesn't take long. Strickland Crossroads shelter now. That's Highway 280 there that runs just on the west side of Sylacauga. Highway 231 runs up to the north there. But if you're in Hanover, Weguffka, Strickland Crossroads and points north into southern Talladega County, go ahead and go to that shelter now, as we do have that potential there for a tornado. I have not seen any major damage reports so far, Brandon, out of there, which I'm really surprised.
Right. I've been monitoring social media and the National Weather Service chat. So far, so good. Just some trees and power lines down along some trees down along Highway 145. But other than the trees down reports, we're not getting anything structural wise. I'm sure that it could come later. We just this has just happened. It's going to take some time to assess the situation. But once they assess it and they get that information into us, we'll pass that along as soon as we can.
Yeah, and the National Weather Service office also mentioning this thing has really gotten sloppy very quickly, which we see that, and that is good. Hopefully this thing will fizzle out and be done with this storm. I don't know about you, but I'm about tired of this storm. It keeps causing problems. It seems like it's dying out, and then all of a sudden it revamps, and you've got this situation all over again. So hopefully this storm is about done. But still, if you're in South Talladega County, let's stay sheltered. Sylacauga, Overbrook, around 280, Highway 280, let's stay sheltered now. So let me go back off towards a wide view, since this storm seems to be temporarily calming down. Again, temporarily, please do not let your guard down ahead of this thing. It could ramp right back up. Let's go back to the west and show you the storm that's over Noxubee County, Mississippi. That's below Columbus, Mississippi. And this thunderstorm has some sign of rotation with it, but we haven't seen anything significant at the moment. Let's look at this thing. Again, there's Shuqualak, Mississippi, Paulette right there, Cooksville. That's the Tombigbee River that runs from Cochran down to the Demopolis area. Again, this is northern portions of Sumter County. This is southern portions of Pickens County. They got the Coosa River. I'm sorry, the Sipsey River. It's been a long day, right? So we're at the interchange of the Sipsey River and the Tom Bigby River for West Alabama. I've been in that area many times, done some fishing there. This rotational signature is going to be moving right over that area. So again, the Sipsey drainage basin anywhere in the Sipsey Valley, that's where we're concerned about for the potential for maybe some rotation moving in, but I don't see enough evidence for the Weather Service office in Birmingham to issue a tornado warning for that. Looks like they're going to cancel that warning for Shelby, but it's out of the county, so we know that.
Yeah, they're going to continue the tornado warning for Coosa and Talladega.
All right, so let's go back over to the tornado warning storm there as we are still dealing with that. So I'm going to go back over to wide view. So far, you know, most everything over West Alabama. Let me move this radar site into Columbus. I want to see what's back here. So far, this seems to be fairly tame. But again, this back edge here, we need to watch for any potential for a new tornado to develop. I don't see that right now, but that could change in a hurry. We do have showers and thunderstorms over much of West Alabama. Tornadic thunderstorm continues for southern Talladega, northern Coosa County. Let's do a track on this thing and show you where it is and where it's heading. Again, this is no longer a confirmed tornado. But it is a storm that has clearly had a history of producing a strong, damaging tornado right on the Chilton-Shelby County line. Just a few moments ago, crossed Interstate 65. Let's pull on Birmingham's reflectivity. And again, does not look as impressive as it did just a few moments ago. But Sylacauga down to Weguffka, stay in shelter. Let's do a track on this, and I tell you what, Jennifer, too, have you seen an update on the speed of this thunderstorm? Have they changed that? I've not seen an update on that.
No, I haven't gotten any updates on that. I do have an update on that flooding on County Road 22. They're saying that there's no longer water over that road.
Okay, good.
That storm is moving east at 35.
Okay, 35 miles per hour, very close to Talladega Springs. Let's do a path on this thing. So there it is there. It's moving generally east at about 35 miles per hour. So again, these are the times of arrival for your community if you're in the path of this potential tornado. Overbrook at 10:56. We're looking at Skeggs Crossroads at 11:05. We've got Goodwater at 11:11, Glades at 11:19, Carmill at 11:23, Rays Crossroads at 11:29, and that puts it well into Clay County if this thing holds together. And I don't think there is a tornado warning for Clay. No, there's not. All right, so there's not a tornado warning formally for Clay County as of this moment. But we know this thing can change quickly. So I'll tell you what, let's look at our hazard display on this thing and see what we've got. Still showing some large hail potential. By the way, that's something we should mention. This thing could still drop some pretty large hail. Where you see the darker shades of red and black representing where reflectivity is very intense, and this thing could be dropping some hail. There's some cold air aloft, and any of these storms have that potential to produce some large hail, so don't discard that threat. But there's no doubt this storm has significantly changed structure. And Brandon, it would be interesting to look at what the instability looks like in this part of Alabama. Is this just a cyclical stage, or is this running out of the good instability into East Alabama? So I would be really interested to see that.
Right, because we haven't had any storms in this part of Alabama all day, so it's been untouched. I do think there's a new notch forming just south of Talladega Springs. That's heading toward Stewartville on US 231. I think that would be our next area where this thing might try to wrap back up. But that's what I'm saying right now.
Yeah, I see that little notch down there right by Strickland Crossroads. You got Marble Valley there, just northeast of there. That's Talladega Springs. This has now clearly crossed the Coosa River at Lady Lake. So if you are at Lady Lake and points west, you're okay from this particular thunderstorm. It's clearly passed east of there. Sylacauga and Overbrook, I still need you in shelter. That's 231 right there, or 280, that's 231. And Highway 21, the possible tornado is still going to be moving in your general direction, and that could cause issues if it were to recycle. Yeah, John DeBlock mentioning with the Weather Service, this signature is hard to find right now. But again, they just did that, 40 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago. This thing was nothing at all. And all of a sudden, it spun down a tornado quickly. So still, this is what we're watching. This is what's left of our inflow notch where a possible tornado would be. Weather Service maintains that tornado warning. It is no longer a confirmed tornado because of the fact that it's lost that rotational signature. But still, if you are north of Strickland Crossroads, we've got some weak rotation involved with that. But stay in shelter in Sylacauga, Overbrook, in southern Talladega County. If you are now west of Talladega Springs, you're okay. This tornadic circulation has passed to your east. If you are really, again, Lay Lake and west, you're okay. But if you go east of there, that's where we're going to deal with problems. Since this storm is beginning to weaken just a bit, Weather Service mentioned they are not planning on extending the tornado warning at this time. Let's see, tornado warning continues until 11 o'clock for about 20 more minutes on this warning. So they are not planning on extending that. We'll see if they cancel that early. But again, that is our current situation with that. So let's go back into West Alabama, show you other storms ongoing. I know we got folks watching from different parts of the state. We got showers and thunderstorms. Go ahead.
Another flash flood warning has been issued for Bibb, Chilton, Coosa, Shelby, and Talladega counties until 12:45.
All right, so we've got a flash flood warning now. That's a big deal. That is an upgrade from an aerial flood advisory. Flash flood warning means flash flooding is ongoing or could happen at any time there. So you see that little light green polygon representing that flash flood warning. So we got these intense, heavy tropical downpours training over the same general area. And in that zone, we could certainly have some problems with flash flooding. So if you live in a flood zone or a typical spot that often floods, I would go to higher ground or try to get away from flooded waters if you can, because that is a big deal. It's still 12:45. So again, flash flood warning for much of Bibb County, southern Shelby, northern Chilton, southern Talladega, in northern Coosa County. We need to watch these storms back to the west over West Alabama. There's no formal tornado watch or tornado warning for that area.
I think that storm that's coming in from Noxubee County into southern Pickens County is riding a rain-cooled boundary, which could
maybe
actually cause the rotation to actually go up a little bit. So I'm watching it pretty closely. I think the National Weather Service is watching it really closely. But yeah, I think it's riding that boundary from rain-cooled air and warm air to the south.
Yeah, I think you're right. That's right on that line there. And there's no doubt there's still that kind of weak area rotation coming up on the Cochran area. Vienna there, you got Aliceville, Olney, and keep going off towards the east, towards the Snotty area. But again, if you're northwest Green or Clinton, let's watch this. This is not by any means a tornado warning. But let's keep a very close eye on that particular thunderstorm, as at least it has some broad general rotation. Again, so this is going to be crossing the Tombigbee River at the confluence of the Sipsey River. So that is a storm that could become severe or could potentially become tornadic, but it's not at the moment.
Hey, Richard.
Go ahead.
That tornado warning in Coosa and Talladega has been canceled.
Okay, so that went ahead and canceled that tornado warning for those counties. And I tell you what, it is 10:42 right now. Let's look at things real quick of what all is going on. I'll put on the Birmingham reflectivity. So again, there's storms out there now. The National Weather Service is going to again cancel that tornado warning for Coosa and Talladega County because of the fact that this storm has significantly weakened. It is no longer a storm that looks like it's producing a tornado, but we've said that before. And what happened, Brandon? This thing recycled.
Bears watching. I mean,
so absolutely.
You know, these thunderstorms are still in an environment.
Yeah.
Still in an environment that can, cause these storms to rotate. I mean, you see the storm back over in West Alabama. So, we're watching that one closely too.
Yeah, so just because this storm is temporarily weakening to where it may not be currently producing a tornado, I'm not comfortable with this storm until it moves out of Alabama. Once it moves out of our market, it'll do whatever it'll do, but right now it's in our market and in our coverage area, so we need to carefully keep an eye on that one. And a good evening to you. Still Wednesday night. It is now 11 o'clock. Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott got a full crew in tonight. We continue to deal with this severe weather situation across Alabama. We've had substantial damage reported across parts of the state. Some of the hardest hit areas around the Winfield area in southern Marion County, the tornado that touched down earlier. Also, we got a significant damage across southern portion of Shelby County, northern Chilton County, with another tornado that did touch down. We got some damage being reported out of the Moundville area and County Road 44, some trees down there. But no doubt, Alabama has dealt with issues tonight across Alabama. Things seem to be, for the most part, in a calmer phase, but we're not out of the woods. So we are watching a couple of other thunderstorms that's formed back here in West Alabama, and these have us concerned as they have a potential to produce a tornado. Again, that hasn't happened yet, but they do have a potential to become tornadic. Let's show you what we got over here in West Alabama. And I do want to mention there is no tornado watch for West Alabama as conditions are more marginally conducive for tornado to form here. But again, let's watch Tuscaloosa County, Pickens County, northern Greene County for these thunderstorms right here that are near that rain-cooled boundary. And those have the potential to produce a tornado. Potential. Now, it's a low chance, but it's not out of the question. So let's look at the velocity with this and just make sure we don't have anything trying to surprise us. So, again, still got that broad area rotation just south of Aliceville. That's north of the Cahaba River. It's late at night, right? It is north of the Sipsey River. I'll get my rivers right here in a minute. So this is just on the north side of the Sipsey River. I got the Tom Bigby that runs through West Alabama there. This is in southern Pickens County. An area rotation. This is not a tornado warning, but it's a storm that bears watching as it's still in an environment that could potentially produce a tornado, but it's not an overly impressive environment. We'll go over to the Columbus radar. I just want to look at this thing together. And you've got a little notch there. You see that notch below Aliceville? That weak area, rotating air, rotating mesocyclone there. Also north of Geiger. Watching that back into that thunderstorm as well. This up here in Tuscaloosa County, it looks like for the most part this is elevated, not necessarily rooted at the surface for now. So I don't think there's much of a tornado potential out of this part. But if you're down here in southern Pickens County, again, just on the north side of the Sipsey River, we do have that potential for perhaps a brief tornado. It hasn't happened yet, but let's keep an eye on that storm. Let's go off towards the east and let's check out what's happening with the storm that dropped the tornado in portions of Shelby and Chilton County. That storm crossed Lay Lake and the Coosa River, and that's this storm right here. And the National Weather Service, I do want to mention this, also issuing a flash flood warning in effect for this area from southern Talladega County, southern Shelby, northern Chilton, back towards central Bibb County. Looks like the rain rates there have been quite significant for some flooding issues out of that. Pull on the Birmingham reflectivity. And there's no doubt this storm here has greatly diminished. I don't see any evidence of a tornado with that. Again, we've got Brandon Richards in the Weather Center. And Brandon, we have talked about this storm for a while now as it came out of Mississippi, but it certainly looks like this thing's kind of really trended down. It's the weakest I've seen so far tonight.
Yeah, it seems like it's, and the lightning has actually come down with it a pretty good bit too. So it's moving out of that axis of larger instability, and at the same time that the instability is kind of coming down, we're also losing our wind shear. So that is moving to the north. So as those two kind of go down, our severe weather threat kind of diminishes. It's not zero. We still have that threat. As you can see, we're still watching storms in West Alabama. But as of right now, the threat's kind of come down a little bit. And so that storm that produced that tornado in Chilton County has definitely weakened a pretty good bit.
Yeah, and hopefully this storm will be out of steam there. No doubt this thing is, again, the least impressive we've seen all day across Alabama. It made a track from East Mississippi across West Alabama. That same storm produced what we think may have been a tornado touchdown not far from Moundville. That's when we had that first tornado warning. Produced a little bit of damage in Bibb County, and then obviously quite a bit of damage, although I have not seen any pictures and video with that. Have you?
I haven't had any reports
Brandon?
from social media come from Hale County. Really haven't got anything from northern Chilton County
I
either.
haven't either, which is so odd considering the populated area that's moved through and the just tremendous debris signature we had earlier. Let's go back over to our report so far. And I tell you, I just want to take this for a moment and look at this because I know we've had quite a few storm reports across central Alabama and North Alabama especially. Some of these haven't populated on our map here yet. As the National Weather Service officially comes out with an official report, you'll see these icons pop up here. But this had happened over in Winfield. Tell you what, Brandon, the tornado damage we saw in Winfield, and I don't know if you have the pictures.
I do.
If you do have those pictures, we can take that, Catherine, if you don't mind. And Brandon, I just want you to talk over what you see in Winfield because this damage here is fairly significant.
Yeah, so if we can take the weather iPad, I've got these pictures pulled up from Winfield. And the main damage was in downtown. It was near the pizza bar there in downtown. You've got a restaurant that was hit pretty hard. A couple of buildings in downtown were hit pretty hard. But other than, the good thing is, the Marion County EMA hasn't reported any injuries, and this storm was a pretty strong tornado from what we can tell. So to have no injuries, that's a blessing.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Catherine, if we can take that weather iPad, I would like to show those pictures. There we go, Brandon. Here's some of the pictures you're talking about, and I tell you what, that is significant.
Yeah, this is at the pizza bar, I believe. And so we're just kind of scrolling through some of these pictures. I mean, you see power lines down. You got the parts of roofs over the power line. This is, again, we showed this earlier, but I'm going to show it again because when we tell you do not drive through a tornado or a tornado warning, this is the reason why. I mean, if the person was in their driver's seat, it's a pretty bad situation there. So that's why we tell you never to be in a car. This is another restaurant in downtown Winfield that we're looking at with some pretty serious structural damage. That's the trees across the parking lot. Until we can get some first light of day, we're not going to really know the actual scope of the severe weather. We're just going to continue to get these initial pictures of the damage that they can see for now. That's another restaurant. That's the same restaurant. But, it was a pretty strong tornado. But, again, I always like to mention, so far, no injuries.
Yeah, that is incredible to see. Brandon and Jennifer also in the Weather Center with us too, and we have not seen injuries, but we have seen a significant amount of damage. Still early in the night, so I mean that's not to say that we didn't totally get out of this, without any major problems with injuries. Hopefully, we won't get any information that there was any injuries or loss of life tonight. I want to take our Brian Denny camera if we can, and this is from Tuscaloosa. And the air temperature is 68. The wind is out of the northeast. And, we're clearly now in that rain-cooled air. So that should help us out some if you are near or north of Tuscaloosa. But I'll say this, if you're south of Tuscaloosa, things could change still pretty quickly. There's not formally a tornado watch for you. But I'm just telling you, we're not totally out of the woods with this situation yet, as do still have that possibility. I want to take our Fayette camera. Let's just look at this thing. And Fayette, look at that, 64 now. It is showing a calm wind, but I clearly think Fayette and areas to the north are going to be in stable air. I don't think we're going to have any problems if you are in that part of Alabama now. It looks like any issues should be generally off towards the north of that. Tuscaloosa today made it up to 81 this afternoon, which shatters the old record of 75 back in 2019. And What a difference. I mean, today was incredibly warm. You feel that moisture and that heat when you walk outside. During our 5 o'clock news, I think it was our 5 o'clock news, we were talking about how it just felt like a summer day. The high level of heat and humidity. And temperatures out there, I do want to mention that. Most part are in the 60s now, although Demopolis still at 74. And again, there's still that warm, juicy air down to the south of Interstate 20, so we could still deal with that. You see it's 59 in Haleyville now, 61 in Coleman, but still the air down here to the south, that's south of Tuscaloosa, hasn't been worked over yet. So that is something we'll keep an eye on. So here's the setup, and I just want to briefly show you this. And I'll tell you what, Brandon and Jennifer, you guys look at the satellite and the radar. The storms back in Louisiana and Arkansas are diminishing. They're back here, more stable air. Much of Mississippi, now there's just not much happening, some showers. And then this back edge of the stuff coming through West Alabama, looks like this may be it for a while. There could be an additional thunderstorm overnight. There could be an additional
Richard.
issue. Go ahead.
Just the National Weather Service is really watching this storm moving through Tuscaloosa County into Pickens into Tuscaloosa and Greene. They're just saying that it's carrying torrential rainfall, and if it's moving into your area, to get indoors.
Yeah, and that is something we could deal with is flooding. You know, we've got flood issues ongoing across the area. And I tell you what, Brandon, if you put me in play mode there, and I'll take control from the radar. And Catherine in the control room, is there any information on Ajahnay? I know she's in the Winfield area. Okay, I know Ajahnay's in the Winfield area, but cell service is kind of rough up there right now.
I believe she is actually heading back to the station.
Okay, so she's going to have video from what happened in Winfield. So whenever she gets here tonight, we'll have that video. Now, I understand she's all the way over in Winfield, so she's got quite a drive to go. But we'll get some of that video and pictures of what happened. Brandon and Jennifer has been showing you the pictures and video and images from Winfield today. Which was hard hit tonight by what we think was a fairly strong tornado. Here's the watch warning map, and again, this is a flood watch for the counties that are in that darker shade of green. Tornado watch continues for Shelby, Chilton counties, and points east, but again, technically, we don't have any watches or warnings to our west, which is encouraging. Hopefully, that trend will continue. But here's a look at radar. We got a very heavy rainfall rates now ongoing across parts of our coverage area, and this will obviously add to the flooding issues. That's something we really need to kind of harp on just a bit, is what could happen with the flooding potential there. So if you are in Tuscaloosa or southern Pickens County, northern Greene County, if you are in a typical spot that often floods, just a heads up for you, that could cause some problems certainly tonight. We'll go into the Samantha area, Lake Tuscaloosa. Tremendous amounts of rain, some cloud-to-ground lightning also involved with this activity. This stretches off to the southeast. This is in, I think, in more rain-cooled air here. I don't think there's much of a tornado risk out of that, but it's still something we'll keep an eye on. Down here to the south, again in southern Pickens County, you got the Sipsey River that runs into west Tuscaloosa County. An intense thunderstorm lined up along the river. And let's look at the velocity together. Again, maybe still some broad area rotation, but I'm not seeing much from Columbus and not seeing much from Birmingham either. So that's what we are looking at right there. So what we'll do, I want to show you our Fayette camera. It's 64, and we've had some rain, quite a bit of rain there. Tuscaloosa, this from Bryant Denny. It's 68 now. We were at 81 earlier. And that's the latest on that. So tell you what we'll do is we'll take us a break, and we'll come back here at 11:30 for another live update. If we have a tornado warning before that, we'll break in, and we will stay on.